Hello, hello, and finally, if I may blame myself, welcome to Grand Slam Galaxy Season 2. My name as your commissioner is Willie or Won't He, and I am joined by my co-commentator Silver Lily. Silver Lily, how are you doing on this fine day of baseball?
Doing just all right, Willie.
Just all right. Hell yeah, I'm ready. I'm excited. We have an exciting season of Grand Slam Galaxy ahead of you. Starting off today with our first Playday, you may have seen our two preseason games where teams could kind of get the feeling of each other, get a little bit used to their new teams, and sort of see how it all shakes out. But this is where the rubber meets the road, isn't it, Silver Lily?
Yes, it is, Willie. All those results wiped clean as we start the actual season on today, opening day.
I'm excited to be here for opening day with you all after a short delay while I was making a smoothie. If it helps, it's fine. Now, heading into today, our 8 teams for this league from the top, we have an absolutely clean slate. Let me pull this up for you. We have on our rosters for this season, and I can't delay this anymore while I pull up the standings, but I will try to by sort of dragging out this run-on sentence with additional and more extra filler words to give myself the additional time that I need. In these clean versions of the standings, we have the returning Bowser's Monsters, the returning from the Winter CPU Classic Eggs, we have the Flowers, led as always by Daisy, the Monarchs, led as always by Peach, the Diddy Kong's Revenge, led by a hothead new captain, the DK Wilds, coming in, looking with a lot of power heading into this league, Dante's Infernos, looking to cause a little bit of a hellstorm, tearing up this league as a new team. And finally, the Rotten Eggs, a reborn Birdo team looking to do damage upon the league. Silver Lily, what are some highlight teams for you heading into this season?
Well, I think I want to highlight specifically the two teams that did go 2-0 in the preseason. The Monsters and the Revenge. Actually, were there 3 teams that went 2-0, or am I misremembering?
I believe so. Let me double check for you.
Because I know the Monsters did, and I know the Revenge did.
The Eggs did.
Was it? The Eggs did.
Yes.
The Eggs also went 2-0, so do keep an eye on them, though both of their games were very close. The Monsters and the Revenge, on the other hand, came out of the preseason looking dominant. The Revenge having shut out the Wilds in their first game of the preseason, and the Monsters walking all over the Monarchs, before taking a close one. Was it closer? I need a review. It's been a hot minute since I looked over those.
So our preseason games, on preseason day number 1, the Eggs took out the Bows in a very well played opening game on Mario Stadium. That was 4-5 to the Eggs. The Monarchs lost to the Monsters in a scary game for both teams as the Monsters plowed ahead 13-2 on Wario City. Over on Yoshi Park, it was the Infernos that had their own scary game with that 9-run inning that blasted them ahead of the Flowers. And then our last day of game of Playday 1 in the preseason was the Wilds versus the Revenge, where the Revenge completed the first shutout in Grand Slam Galaxy history, going 5-0 versus the Wilds in a, I think, pretty morale boosting situation for Diddy Kong's team. Next preseason day, we had another very close game for the Rotten Eggs where they fell 8-6 versus the Monsters. Sorry, that's the Monsters Rotten Eggs 8-6 in the Monsters' favor. The Revenge took their second game to go 2-0 and make sure that the Monarchs went 0-2 as the Revenge beat the Monarchs 7-4 and a much better showing for the Monarchs and a kind of a staple for these teams. We'll see whether or not they end up being the defensive teams of this league, I think, the Revenge and the Monarchs. Third game of preseason day 2, that was the... I have to fill in these team names as I go, and it's tripping my brain up. That was the Eggs versus the Infernos, that crazy game on Luigi's Mansion. If you go back and look at any games from the preseason, go to day 2, watch game 3, watch the Eggs versus the Infernos, because that was the most baseball game to ever happen, where the Eggs locked up their 2-0 season in the record in the preseason, and that caused the Infernos to drop to 1-1. In our last day of the preseason was another close game where another team fell to an 0-2 record as the Wilds beat the Flowers. The Wilds winning that game on DK Jungle 8-6. So, all in all, it was a bunch of actually very, very close games on preseason day 2, which makes me very excited for the future of this league. But do you have any closing thoughts about sort of the state of the preseason before we head into our first day?
Only that for everything that happens, none of it is mattered now. It has given these teams a little bit of time to shake out their rosters, maybe see about a couple of other trades. I don't think we've seen any come through just yet, but I am looking forward to seeing more in the future. I doubt these rosters stay static.
We'll have to see how these rosters shake out, how these teams shake out, and how our league shakes out as we head into the first game of Season 2. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you to Wario City at night. At night. Our first game of the day is going to be the Rotten Eggs versus the Infernos. Now, we have a little bit of a shakeup from Season 1 that I want to make clear. In Season 1, the way our schedule worked was we had 7 series. Each team would play each other team in a series where they would both ban a stadium, both pick a stadium, and then play each other back to back. In Season 2 of Grand Slam Galaxy, it works a little bit differently. Now, there's definitive home and away games. Over our 14 playdays, each team will play a different team every single playday. So, as an example, in Season 1, our first 2 playdays would have been the Infernos home game versus the Rotten Eggs, and then the Rotten Eggs home game versus the Infernos. In Season 2, the Infernos are playing their home game against the Rotten Eggs and won't play the Rotten Eggs again until the second half of this season. Next playday, actually, just a fun peek ahead, the Infernos will be visiting the Eggs, and the Rotten Eggs will be hosting the DK Wilds. So, making that clear. Now, I'm going to throw it to you in a moment, Silver Lily, to talk up the Rotten Eggs. Let me talk a little bit about this Infernos squad. Right now, the Infernos tried 2 different rosters in the preseason. They've landed on a 3-jacket setup as Dante looks to lead his team forward. A lot of scary power available in this team with both Firebro, Drybones, and, to their credit, Strawberry on the team, all able to deliver dive bombs. And of course, that jacket outfield with Otis and Heathcliff, backed up by Drybones, is nothing to be ashamed of. Tag that in with Firebro for a absolutely one of the best shortstops in the league, and you've got a team that can pack not just a punch, but hopefully serve some defensive plays as well. While their outfield might not be the most outstanding in the league, we'll get to the Revenge. It'll be hard to break this team. I really think so. I think that they're looking very positive. Any comments about the Infernos before we start talking about the Rotten Eggs?
Well, as the Infernos home commentator, and after the Infernos gave us 2 exciting games in the preseason, I am looking forward to commentating the rest of their season, Willie.
I think it's going to be a very exciting showing from this team, and I'm looking forward to what they can deliver. But, Silver Lily, tell me about the visitors in this equation. Tell me about the Rotten Eggs.
The Rotten Eggs are something of a odd couple team, Willie. Birdo and Wario are the co-captains of the team, Birdo taking main captain status with Wario taking sub-captain status, and Mario, a captain tier player who has never actually run a team in the Galaxy League, also taking a spot on the team. It should be noted that Birdo and Wario do not like each other. They do not like each other. And Mario also does not like Wario. So there are 3 dominant personalities on this team, all kind of vying for that captain status, and 2 of them can work fine together, and there are a couple pairs of them that really can't. But this has not seemed to affect their play too severely. While they did fall in both games in the preseason, chemistry didn't play much of a part. They fell to both teams that went 2-0, the Eggs and the Monsters. And both of those games were a lot closer than the other games those 2 teams played. The Eggs Rotten Eggs team, or game, was a 1-point difference, and the Rotten Eggs Monsters game was a 2-point difference. What's giving this team that ability to stay in it? Well, it is the pure power they're packing, Willie. They might not have the best pitching or fielding talent, but Birdo, Wario, Pianta, Yellow Pianta, and Red Critter are all not league greatest, but very solid slugging batters. Additionally, you have the likes of Mario, Yellow Toad, and Yellow Shy Guy, backed up by Statler in the outfield, that are able to provide those good contact slap hits. Thermite as well, a former Monsters player. So they have the offensive potential to keep them competing with the other teams. It has not benefited them so far. Not enough, anyway, to allow them to take a game. But now, with the slate wiped clean, they have the best chance to prove themselves on this field.
Well, we'll have to see. The Infernos definitely have proven themselves in the preseason, winning one of their games in dominant fashion and losing the other one in a relatively close, very exciting game. Please go watch Game 3 of Playday 2 of the preseason. That was a banger. The Rotten Eggs, potential shown, but yet to be mastered. We're starting off with a battle of 2 starred pitchers and the Infernos in home territory as they choose to take the Rotten Eggs to Wario City at night. At night.
At night.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Season 2.
And as is appropriate for a home team, it will be the Infernos out on the field, fielding first. Boo stepping up to the mound to be our starting pitcher for the day. And with some bad contact from Yellow Toad, easily fielded by Firebro over to first base, we have our first out of the game. Captain Birdo steps up and immediately gets out the same way.
Not exactly a promising showing from the Rotten Eggs offense. Wario City is known as a slugger's paradise. I think we can say it's probably the most slugging efficient. Oh boy, bobble from Shy Guy allows Yellow Shy Guy to reach base, but off that error, my point was it's one of the highest scoring Slugger Paradise stadiums in Grand Slam Galaxy, and we'll have to see if Wario is able to take advantage of that.
It absolutely is, Willie. It was a bit of an interesting choice by the Infernos to send themselves here, given their somewhat shaky outfield. I think they're counting on the field being chaotic enough that their small ball game plan and their own slugging potential can make up for it.
Well, we'll have to see if they're able to break the offense of the Rotten Eggs, who off that error from Shy Guy have an opportunity with Statler, but one man picks up all 3 outs. Firebro knocks off the first 2 batters, and just when the Rotten Eggs start to go hot, knock off batter number 5 to keep the Rotten Eggs scoreless in the first inning.
Former Captain Waluigi first to step up to the plate. This is the third roster arrangement we have seen from the Infernos. They fielded 2 different ones in the preseason, and now a third different one here at the start of opening day. Star Power was actually moved off of the former Captain Waluigi and placed onto starting pitcher Boo. They're choosing to entrust it to a different player after a bit of a rough performance from Waluigi in their previous game.
Well, they're starting off a little bit better technically than the Rotten Eggs did with getting Waluigi on base, but immediately hitting into a double play. And unfortunately, it's no second out rally from them, or maybe fortunately. They will go 3 batters, 3 outs, but the best of their rotation is yet to come. Meanwhile, the Rotten Eggs, well, Wario loses all his potential in the first inning. We'll have to see if the slamming backline of Salamander first can bring that potential, and well, Salamander definitely wants it.
That one curves out to start with, finds it again, sends it out towards right field. It looks like it's just going to barely stay in the lines. A bomb's not going to do much disrupt the fielding, though it is going to knock Otis on her ass afterwards. It will still be an out, and Thermite steps up to the plate. Shell interference is going to allow him to make it to first.
We don't typically see Shells actually successfully interfere with those infielders. Now Mario, who's been given the star power for this game, is going to step up, and we'll see whether that little extra bit of juice in his bat turns out for much. He's going to opt to slap it, and Shy Guy won't bobble it this time. That's a beautiful double play to end the inning.
I was going to remark that I believe the head manager for the Rotten Eggs has always been a big Mario fan. When it comes to baseball, always believed Mario had more potential than what he was showing on the field, and that might be behind that star power decision. Hasn't worked out yet, but there's still plenty of game to play, and now Mario on the mound is pitching fireballs to Fire Bro.
Well, without any item support, Fire Bro's pop fly will definitely be quickly caught by Yellow Shy Guy out in right field. I want to say, for the Infernos, if you want to see any offensive pressure, I think Yellow Shy Guy in that right field might be the weak spot for the Rotten Eggs. He's definitely the slowest outfielder they've got, and we'll have to see whether or not that matters for any big plays. Meanwhile, Dry Bones knocks a good single with a hit up to center field.
Heathcliff stepping up now, staring down the first one, but it does end up being a strike. Is going to slap it out and start off their small ball game plan with 2 singles back to back.
Wario City not known to be a small ball location, but we'll see if Otis is able to take advantage of it. There's plenty of opportunity for the Onyx to try to clean this up, but not a lot when a beautifully placed Shell knocks out Yellow Toad in left field, and that single, with the assistance of that Shell, leads to the first run of the game. Otis gets an RBI, and Dry Bones gets a run.
Dry Bones makes the hustle to get all the way to home from second. Not normally the player you expect to have that kind of performance on the base paths. Mario getting a little angry now, is going to try and pitch a fireball. It will be fielded by Birdo when it's slapped away by Boo, and that will save the inning with a double play. Birdo, being what her team needed right there in the moment, holds the Spitballs to 1.
Well, that does mean the Spitballs start off the scoring on this game. It's not exactly a hot score, but it is a lead. They'll take that 1-run lead, at least at the top of the third, as Yellow Pianta, YP, knocks a ball right out to the left field. It's a single, but hey, you're happy to see success from the Piantas, I think.
Always happy to see the success from the Piantas. I think it's no secret that I am a Pianta believer when it comes to a set of players in the league. I have always counted the Piantas among my favorites. Yellow Toad, unable to repeat that success, slaps one out, but it's high enough that Otis is able to get under it.
We don't typically see those types of high slaps from the Toads. The line drive from Birdo, though, is enough to escape the glove of Shy Guy. It's good for a single, and it's good enough for YP to make his way all the way to third.
Yellow Shy Guy now, another good slap contact batter. Stepping up, going to see if he can bat one of his teammates in. Charges up on that one, redirects into the glove of Dry Bones, prevents there from being much more damage than an RBI single, but it is still an RBI single.
Just like that, they're on eggs. We're going to see whether or not they're able to do better than the preseason, where they treated us to several close games that they lost. But right now, at least, they're keeping it close. They've tied the game. And chance to do damage with Wario knocking a clean single out to right field. A lot of power behind that one, but not high enough to get more than a single.
Right field, the weakness for both of these teams in the outfield, with Shy Guy and Dry Bones, not known for being great fielders. It is so far the Rotten Eggs that are able to take advantage of it. Dry Bones had the hustle on the base paths, but now out in the field today.
Yeah, that good hit from Statler curving right through the first baseline tires out Boo, and we actually see a swap relatively early from the Infernos as Boo is taken off the mound, and Waluigi is brought in, immediately laying up a dinger to Salamander, but Otis and Heathcliff in the outfield snag that ball. Problem is, that's still a pop fly for the fourth run in this inning. Did I say pop fly, sack fly?
Yeah. Waluigi tends to tire quickly off plays like that, so we'll see if he can stay in the mound for very long. The Limbus Company crew in the outfield celebrating there. At least they managed to make a play. Notice Thermite stepping up, going to see if he can't continue the chain. It's another one up the center. Otis is in position. It's good enough for a single.
That means that again, Mario stares down Waluigi. The slow ball, good for a strike right down the middle of the plate. Mario doesn't want any big hits there. He'll attempt to slap, and that will again be quickly fielded by that excellent shortstop Firebow for the third out of the inning.
Now on the Infernos to answer back. They had scored the first run of the game, but now there are 4 on the Rotten Egg side of the scoreboard. Red Shy Guy going to start it off with a pop fly out to right center field. Easy one for Statler to catch. Fire interference isn't even going to take effect, let alone matter. And then another fire ball from Mario is immediately slapped away. He's gotten a lot of contact off those today.
I mean, I honestly think that we won't see that much in terms of disruption as Strawberry knocks a great hit out to left field. Waluigi forcing the close play on the base running and able to safely reach third off that excellently aimed shot from Strawberry. It's a single, but with runners on the corners and 1 out?
1 out. I think that's the first time I've seen a close play on any base other than home plate.
I think it's only possible on third and home. I think we've seen it on third before, though it's much rarer.
Some good fielding from Shy Guy in the outfield there. Prevented what might have been another single and made it so that Waluigi could not safely run home. Fire Bro! Oh! Good catch from Thermite will end the inning threat, and those 4 runs go unanswered by the Infernos as we head into the 4th inning.
Well, now it's up to the Infernos to prove their defensive chops as well. Firebro has been doing everything I've talked him up to do and more in that shortstop position, and it looks like Heathcliff will be the one to make the play in left field, snagging that little shot by YP out to left.
It's a nickname that can really only be said one way.
You really could hear my brain buffering while trying to load in the player names. Yellow Toad with a lot more success, at least. A redirected arrow shot will be good for a single and start the Rotten Eggs offense this inning.
Waluigi throwing another trick ball here. Birdo wants to power straight through it, but it is going to be a strike. Just a regular charge up for this one. And it's a long ball, but it's to the better side of the field. It's still fairly high, but it is also the second out of the game, inning, not the game.
No, it's the 1, 2, 3 times 2 times 3 plus 2, 20th out of the inning game. Wait, no, are we in the top of the bottom? We're in the bottom of the inning, aren't we?
Fourth. We're in the top of the fourth.
Okay, so wait, 3 times 3.
You had it right. You had it right.
Okay.
6 outs per inning. We're in the fourth inning with 2 outs.
But if you move the decimal, you'll see Yellow Shy Guy with a big pop fly to left field. This shell shouldn't come in time to interfere. No, that'll be a catch. And that'll be the end of the inning as the Ron Eggs aren't able to keep up the offensive pressure. And their top of the fourth is silent. They still have that 3-run lead, though, and that means that the pressure is on the Infernos to catch up.
Good, strong portion of the lineup to do it with, starting with this Dry Bones dinger attempt out into left. It's gonna be just a little bit too low, and Shy Guy can make the buddy jump with the help of Statler in order to field that one. I think he heard us talking shit about his outfielding skills again, Willie.
That's alright, I'll keep talking shit. What's he gonna do? He's too shy to even show his face. What, is he gonna challenge me, the commissioner? Anyway.
One of the best defensive games of his life so far.
Yeah, having one of the only games of his life so far. This is his first regular season appearance ever.
Is it? I thought Yellow Shy Guy was on the Bows last season.
I would have to double check, but that's a very fair point. I forgot about the Bows.
Ouch! Ouch! Boo and Otis trying to start a 2-out rally after a long ball from Heathcliff was fielded for the second out. They've managed to get 2 on first now, and Shy Guy, frequent hero of the Inferno's offense, is going to shut them down instead. Bad contact sent that ball right to Red Critter, and we will be seeing the top of the Inferno's lineup once we get to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's on former Captain Waluigi to get them there, however.
Facing off against his friend Wario, and he'll get the first strike, but Wario looks like he wants to put this one away with deep charges. First shot was a strike, second shot was foul, though.
Gonna curve deep foul. Didn't take very long for it to do either. Gonna slap the third one, but Fire Bro was already in the air for it. Caught it on his way back down. Waluigi starting to tire in the top of the 5th.
That's foul.
That is foul, but weird long shot from Statler. You don't see that too often.
We've seen good success by the Jackets from the Ron Eggs today. Not any more continued success, though, as Statler's ball will be caught easily by Otis out in center field. Salamander with another chance at the first home run of the game, but Otis and Heathcliff are there and don't jump?
Jump?
Well...
No, that checks out, honestly.
Explain.
Well, you know, they're not always the best of teammates. It's just the way it is.
Well, Waluigi... Go ahead.
And as Waluigi is sent to the right field to bring in Dry Bones, that will open up a gaping hole in the right field where before there was only mostly a hole. This is what started to really spell disaster for the Infernos in their previous game, and for fans it might be looking like a repeat. Though that time it was Red Pianta that was on the plate instead of Dry Bones.
Well, we're going to have to see how much that matters. It depends on what sluggers from the Ron Eggs take advantage of it. Now, with 2 outs on the board, a runner on first, runner on second, YP could always choose to try to send it deep here and take advantage of that hole.
YP charges up, looks like he wants to do it. Going to charge a second time, finds it. It's going deep into center, and this is the price they pay for trying to be cute about taking a slugging team to Wario City. their own slugging has not had anywhere near the success despite having very similar batting.
I'm actually not sure that could have been caught by a super jump that was so high.
I don't think it could have.
That
It
was
was almost
weird.
perfect placement from Yellow Pianta.
That was surprising to see from the Pianta. I mean, surely that's not the first Pianta home run, but that is a rare occasion.
You
Regardless,
do not see many Pianta home runs, and I think almost all of them have been on Wario City, something I think the Infernos were counting on their own Pianta to accomplish today.
well, regardless, we've seen big innings from the Infernos, and we'll never say never at the bottom of the fifth, but we will say goodbye to Waluigi as his attempt is caught by Yellow Toad out in left field.
A good slap by Red Pianta, going to try and continue the small ball game plan I've talked about. They've not found much success with it yet, only getting one run where they're used to explosive innings. Another good slap up the center. Anyone who's watched Inferno's games can know that those explosions can go either way, and it might finally be their time to do some damage. 1 out, 2 on, Firebro up. This is a very familiar situation in this game. Firebro's charging it. It's low. It's a good line drive out to center. It's giving Red Pianta time to run home safely, putting runners on the corners. An RBI single from Firebro isn't what we normally expect to see from this player, but it is enough to at least start chipping away at that run deficit. Maybe not quite starting to tire out Mario.
Mario proving his endurance, and Dry Bones is the one that's going to have to try to put a dent in that, but instead, the hit goes right into Salamander's glove at second base. Salamander turns his double play, and it's a second run for the Infernos, but they're stopped there by the Ron Eggs defense.
There's now a tiring Dry Bones up in the captain core of this Rotten Eggs offense. Dry Bones taking a bow and stepping off the mound to give Firebro the shot, sacrificing infielding to try and just maintain the speed of the fastball. It's going to be immediately a star pitch, immediately hit by Yellow Shy Guy.
Well, that single will put one on for Wario to try to take advantage. It's a charge, but it's a foul on the first attempt. Second attempt from Firebro.
Another
Hit.
charge hit. It's looking deep. There's no synergy out there, and that will be good for a 2-run home run.
Big hits from the Rotten Eggs today. A little bit of frustration maybe coming out from this team. Or is it the team gelling together? We'll have to ask the captains later on after this ends, assuming that they can ice this game. But at the top of the sixth with a 10-2 lead, it's looking decent, shall we say, so far for the Ron Eggs, as Statler gets another good single to get on base.
And the Rotten Eggs are just all over the right field this game. They found the hole and were able to break it open, unlike the Infernos, who have not managed to find any success even with their own sluggers.
That 2-run shot from Salamander now gives the Ron Eggs a double-digit lead as Firebro also starts to tire in this game. Fastball attempt. Thermite just barely evades Shy Guy, and the inning continues as Thermite manages to safely touch first. That'll lead to another pitching change from the Infernos.
And even more outfield destruction. There is no chemistry left in there. With Otis coming in from center field to show everyone how it's done. Has to do everything herself these days, so it seems. Heathcliff getting knocked away by Water. And Firebro is a great infielder, but doesn't really have the outfield arm to make it happen.
YP, who's already drilled a shot so far today, has runners on the corners. Big charge, but low hit. let Shy Guy and Dry Bones turn that double play and get out of that inning.
It's the third 4-run inning for the Rotten Eggs. The Infernos, I'm still getting tripped up, have a lot of work to do if they want to try and claw their way back into this one. It's a position they've been in before, and just like before, it doesn't look like they're going to accomplish it.
Otis will be the second batter in this inning. First batter, Heathcliff, knocked it right to first base for the first out, but Otis tries to find the hole and fails to do so. Birdo sucking in that passing ball beautifully to make that catch.
Mario's starting to chuck fireballs again. He wants to finish out this inning fast as possible. Pow block is actually going to spell disaster with the timing it was used, knocking out both the first and second baseman. That's going to start tiring out Wario, and a single that shouldn't have been off of the bat of Boo. Now it's Shy Guy stepping up, fouling it away. Really just trying to crack this pitching from the Rotten Egg squad. It's gonna be a slap right into left field, past Wario and Birdo on that left side infield, and that will be enough for Mario to say he's done.
Wario brought in from third base to pitch with a runner on first, a runner on second. Waluigi wants to try a star hit. Unreliable, but good enough as Salamander just completely fails to grab the ball. I think that was the slowest bobble we've ever seen. Strawberry now has loaded bases, 2 outs, and a chance. Slaps it straight up the center of the field. That's good for 1 for the Infernos.
I'm still just baffled by that Waluigi star hit. Looked like it was going right to Salamander and then kept him guessing for a little bit. It is now Captain Dante's turn at bat with loaded bases. I have commentated so many 2-out rallies. There's always a little bit of hope in my heart for them. But with 2 strikes right away on the count, I think we're going to see a strikeout swinging.
The slider from Wario catches Captain Dante, and Wario looked happy about that one. Now it's a 9-run lead still for the Rotten Eggs, and the goal for the Spitballs is just to stop the bleeding as Yellow Toad hits a big pop fly to right field for the first out of the inning. I said the Spitballs in there.
It's alright, I'm still just a little baffled here. Some bad contact by Birdo and some good fielding by first baseman Captain Dante are going to be enough to get the second out of the inning. Otis staring down Yellow Shy Guy now. 2 strikes right away. Going to put a fastball on this one. Yellow Shy Guy sends it straight up the center. And that'll be good for a single.
Well, it's a baseman.
Setting up Sub-Captain Wario. Go ahead.
It's a baseman on. Wario chooses to slap it, but finds some good Boo arrow redirection. Wario's running for third. Yellow Shy Guy goes all the way home, and that is a triple to get an RBI and bring the Rotten Eggs lead back up to 10.
Strike 1 on Statler. Otis is trying to put the third one away. It'll actually be up to recent infielder Dry Bones, able to get the ball and throw it over to first for the Rotten Eggs' first inning that didn't either have 4 or no runs.
Well, now it's up to the Infernos. 3 innings left. This lead is looking excellent from the Rotten Eggs, but if you want a comeback, you go to Firebro, who immediately drills one up the center and reminds his team, we're not out of this one yet. A big home run.
Gotta wonder where those were when his teammates were on base.
Well, that's just how the batting order crumbles. And now, speaking of, the crumbling man himself, Dry Bones, will have to be another challenge for Wario here. The slider attempt is going to be caught by Dry Bones, but that'll be caught just as well by Yellow Toad out in left field for the first out of the inning.
Heathcliff up now is also going to try for the slap, but that's quickly fielded by Critter. A lot of the Infernos have been making contact, but they've been directly to Rotten Eggs fielders. Similarly there, right to Birdo. Meanwhile, the Rotten Eggs have been finding not just dingers, but hits to the perfect parts of the field. That's what's really created this 9-run lead.
Well, that and disruption for the Infernos in this outfield, allowing shots, well, I don't know.
The disruption hasn't mattered. I say that quite honestly, Willie. The disruption has not yet mattered.
Maybe for one of them, but yeah. That shot by Salamander wouldn't have been caught by basically any outfield in the game. That means that, well, the one-shot homer to start the bottom of the 7th is repeated in the top of the 8th, and the Rotten Eggs extend their lead back to 10.
It is Otis's job to try and stop the bleeding here. They have scored big numbers of runs in short numbers of innings before, but the further away that lead gets, the harder that is going to be for them to accomplish. You keep citing 9 as their highest. It is actually only 7, but they've done high-scoring innings back-to-back before.
Well, if they want it, now is the opportunity. Yellow Toad has not had a lot of success as a batter so far this game, but he will manage to knock away a single. Toads are known to be good batters, and it'll be Birdo with the chance to try to extend this lead. Runner on first, runner on second. Ball tagged, but it's right to a redirection shot that slips back by Waluigi. That means that both runners on the bases will touch home plate, and that double leads to 2 RBIs for the captain.
Once again, just excellent ball placement from the Rotten Eggs. It won't get them further in this inning. It will be a 3-run inning from them as Yellow Shy Guy hits it out, a grounder to first or second baseman, Shy Guy. Now it is Boo, the end of the order,
Floating?
I have forgotten where Boo is in the order. Does not matter because Boo's out of the order now.
I believe Boo is batter number 8? 8.
Batter number 8. It will be batter number 9 that tries to start this Inferno's inning by getting a single with 1 out. Former Captain Waluigi steps up, isn't going to repeat the previous innings heroics with the star hit. Instead, just settling for a regular slap contact single. Strawberry stepping up now to try and face down Wario. 2
Big,
on, none yet away.
Big hit.
Big charge, throws it out. Is far enough for a 3-run home run. And that gets them down back to a 9-run deficit.
If the Infernos want this game, they need to score 12 runs in 2 innings, or 6 run an inning. 3-run homer, that's good for half of this inning's total cash out, but Captain Dante wants to keep the offense going. An excellently hit single with that line drive barely escaping the range of Yellow Shy Guy out in right field. Now Fireball has the chance to bring in 2 more with a big hit out to left field, but will this be caught? No!
It will not be! It's good enough for 2. Firebro showing up right near the end of the game with that big bat we're so accustomed to seeing. Firebro so far has been a huge part of the scoring game from the Infernos, and that will see Sub-Captain Wario tiring.
Well, it's 5 runs in the inning for the Infernos. If they want to stay on track, they need 6. It's a light hit, but an excellently timed pow block will let Dry Bones reach first base off that hit. Now it's Heathcliff who wants to bunt to advance the runner. I guess when the The run that you
When
need
the
is on
runner's
first
dry
base.
bones, I don't know if that's the best plan. Going for shell disruption, but it's a complete whiff. Heathcliff, what were you doing?
You turned Scottish
Otis,
there.
I
You
think
were so
upset
mad at him.
about that one. Wario's still tired and maybe a bit confused. And that means they have only scored 5 of the 6 they needed. If the Rotten Eggs score no more, the Infernos will have to score 7 runs at least to stay in the game. 8 if they want to win it. But first, they have to get through the top of the 9th, and the power-hitting part of this Rotten Eggs roster.
Wario
Foul block
success.
doesn't matter much. Wario had already made it to first.
Wario successfully getting on base, and Statler might be a weaker section of this hitting section, if only because he doesn't have synergy behind him. But that still leaves Salamander, and Statler will get caught out in right field. But now, big hitter from last season's Monster Squad, it's Salamander who steps up. A home run here would be devastating. We know he has it in him from earlier in the game. Slaps
It's a
it.
slap. It's a slap out to left. Heathcliff is there in time. Wario still held to first. Otis steps off the mound. Who's she giving it up to? She's giving it up to Captain Dante. This will put her at first base, bring in Captain Dante from first. He's going to try and close out the game with style. Perhaps a little bit of Super 6 smoking style. Added an extra S, but it does not matter. They hold the Rotten Eggs scoreless. And now it is at the very end of the lineup to try and start a 7-run rally. That is what is needed in order to keep the Infernos in this game. 7 runs to tie it, 8 runs to take it. Shy Guy steps up as Wario tires after a boo single.
Shy Guy hit will go right to Yellow Toad, and that's one of 3 outs that are needed to end this game. It'll be up to Waluigi to try to find the hole in this defense. Will we see a star hit? No, a charge! Knocks it out to right field. Oh, it's in the field though, and Shy Guy does manage to get his glove on that one. We didn't see the landing zone. We thought that might have been clear, but no. That means there's 2
runs
outs.
now have to happen with 2 outs. Strawberry steps up, charges up, throws it out. It is not going to go out, but it is going to be a fair ball. It's a line drive single that puts Boo on third base. Strike 1 from Dante.
The captain is the last line of defense. He's not able to find a hole though as Berto suctions it in and throws him out right at the last moment. The Rotten Eggs will seal that game as they pull away the Infernos home pick 16-9. I honestly...
A surprisingly close game, given what we had seen before in the prior innings.
We definitely saw light from the... Hello?
Everything okay?
Wait. Oh, I know what's happening. Shoot, which button is it? Found it. Okay. So, unfortunately, the game thinks that the totally legitimate Wii that I have sitting on my desk might think that my Wii is sideways, thanks to some experimenting I did with stamina this weekend. Regardless, the Ron Eggs pull that one away, and it's Salamander with his home run hitting potential that ends up taking MVP honors for the Ron Eggs as they get their first win in Season 2 of Grand Slam Galaxy.
And what a win it was. After an 0-2 preseason, that team has shown up to prove they have it. This was definitely a good stadium for their slugging-focused offense. Bit of a stumble on the management of the Infernos. I can already hear Otis grumbling in the background. I bet she's going to have some things to say about that in the clubhouse. Otherwise, the Infernos did what they could, but just could not manage to bring it back. Despite some good ability to get on base and some solid late game slugging from Strawberry and Firebro, they just weren't able to get the hits they needed when they had people in position.
We see the offensive potential that this team can have. Any team with Firebro has offensive potential, and we gotta give a shout out to Strawberry for matching YP and getting their own home run. But someone's gonna have to come together and realize that potential. And really, when you look at the Infernos and their progression later in the season, we gotta start asking, your pitchers need to last a little bit longer. That's a big through line for me for Season 2 of Grand Slam Galaxy, and one I'm still actively looking at fixing. These pitchers need to last on the mound. Mario did an excellent job on the Ron Eggs, lasting 6 innings before being swapped out. But when you're a team like the Infernos, you expect a superstar pitcher like Boo, who made it to the finals of Grand Slam Galaxy 1, to last a little bit longer and give his team that extra defensive boost.
And not only did they not last, their defense just did not come together. Now, an outfield like this one, we were not expecting much from, but Firebro's infield performance was honestly pretty lacking for a star player, and it's not necessarily even his fault. Not a lot got sent his way. We saw one Firebro specialty fire catch today. Just the one.
Yeah, I mean, he did get all 3 outs in the first inning, so I think that he did well enough that we can throw a flower his way. Maybe we won't throw flowers, but we'll throw a flower.
I'm gonna say it, Willie.
I
think any player could have fielded those first 3 hits.
Oh, that's devastating. Oh, you better watch out. I might have trash-talked Yellow Shy Guy, but Firebro will come knocking on your door. We know the type of attitude that he can have.
Firebro is an excellent player. I am not trash-talking Firebro. He is an excellent player. I'm just saying that this is more to the Eggs' credit, the Rotten Eggs' credit, than anything else. They did not hit to Firebro except for 1 hit. They did not throw any hits his way that couldn't have been fielded by your average filler player. They could have pulled a positional player up from minors to field most of the hits that Firebro got given today. That's all I'm saying. Well, excellent play by the Eggs to avoid that danger zone.
Yeah, and credit to the Ron Eggs realizing that potential. The extra star power on Mario, proving that he's a pretty solid pitcher. I will be a fan of Mario ever since that comeback game that the Fire Eggs had last season, where I believe he was instrumental in the defense. But regardless, 16-9, the Ron Eggs are technically top of the scoreboard right now with a solid first showing. But I think that we can at least agree that the Infernos, bringing it back later in the game, weren't blown away. Heading into our second game of the Playday, we're going to see, well, an exciting team, if nothing else, if a controversial one. It's going to be the Revenge as the visiting team versus the Eggs, as the Eggs take us to Yoshi Park. Now, I'll ask you about the Revenge in just a moment. The Eggs here are a team which I'm keeping my eye on. They went 2-0 in the preseason, being out the Rotten Eggs in a 5-4 scoreline, and the Infernos in a 15-11 scoreline. That was game 3 of the preseason. Trust me, go watch preseason day 2, game 3. I'm going to say it every single time I can. And this will be the last time I get the chance today. So far. But, really, the question with these fire eggs is, where do they fit, for me, in that offense-defense slider? We have defensive teams, like their opponents, the Revenge today. We have offensive teams, like the Wilds, who we'll see in Game 4 today. The eggs are a little bit of a weird team in that regard. They have an excellent power on their team. PD Piranha is I believe, home run caliber hitter, even though he had a rough season 1, or shall we say an inconsistent season 1. And King Boo, who they traded for, I think can prove that he'll be a reliable, at least singles hitter batter for the eggs. But beyond that, we've got a couple Yoshis, we've got Baby Peach. We don't have a lot of power beyond those 2 hitters. On defense, we've got Captain Yoshi, we've got Yellow Yoshi. We have some solid defensive players who can come up, but, well, the outfield, Blooper, Wiggler, and King Boo, we might see a little bit of trouble, especially if King Boo is brought in. And we're going to have to see if that comes into play later today versus the Revenge. I think this is honestly one of the most interesting teams. I want to see the eggs, and I want to see what comes out of this roster, because I really believe they've got the power if they play around PD Piranha. They've got the defense if they play around the speed that is allowed in these players. And we're going to have to see if this roster can perform for them against the very dangerous looking Revenge. Silver Lily, tell me about this Revenge squad.
What to say about Diddy Kong's Revenge? We're back to the original format. Back to seeing Nehru, formerly benched player for the Musicians, and Eggman, decent time played player for the Spitballs before being benched in late season. This is their original roster from Playday, or from the preseason Playday 1. This is a roster of cast-offs and forgotten players from the previous season, plus Brown Critter and Boomerang Bro, who are really, you'd expect to be like the big stars of the team. In fact, Brown Critter even has star power. And yet, what has really been making this team shine is their defensive performance, which Brown Critter and Boomerang Bro do absolutely contribute to as a couple of stellar infielders, but also some long-haul pitching from Monty Mole and Diddy Kong, who spent a lot of time improving their pitching between seasons, and an excellent outfield performance from both of those 2 players, as well as Peridot, the Paratroopa, and Ollie, the Paragoomba. Nicknames have been passed down. Those are new names for those players.
Oh, the Scrambled eggs.
Those 2.
Sorry.
Oh, yes, yeah. We'll get to that when that team's up.
That is this team.
Outfield shut down, now on a defensive field, but shut down the Wilds. A team with Donkey Kong, Funky Kong, and is it no, it's not PD Piranha. Hammer Bro. Hammer Bro. I knew they had a third major slugger, but it took me a moment to remember. I'm looking at PD Piranha. PD Piranha is on the screen on the Scrambled eggs. Shut down the Wilds in the preseason, and then took the Monarchs 7-4 in a very defensive game. I don't know if the league is ready for what this team has to bring to the table.
It's an interesting team to see. I think that a lot of this team serves their role so well. With, again, Paragoomba and Paratroopa in the outfield, I honestly think they'll have to be the standout outfield of the entire league with those super jump abilities and the invulnerability to power blocks. I think with Boomerang Bro, a second base, again, we see the Bros be some of the best infielders in the league. I mean, we talk about how good about offense and defense these teams are. What I really want to stress is not just that they're good at both sides, but that each player is probably one of the top players that I would pick to play the role that they're in. And yet they were ignored, abandoned through Season 1 of Grand Slam Galaxy. And they took their revenge through the preseason. Again, that game versus the Wilds was an exciting one to watch. We'll have to see if they're able to do the same, as their first regular season game will be against the Scrambled Eggs. Now, any closing thoughts before we head into this matchup?
Just that I am excited to see how both of these teams perform, Willie. I know I'm saying that a lot, but it's true for pretty much the entire league.
I mean, hey, we love baseball. Go baseball. Let's go baseball. Let's go baseball. Let's go Mets. Hit a home run. Hit a home run. Let's begin game number 2 of this Playday. As the Scrambled Eggs have home field advantage and have chosen to take their revenge to Yoshi Park. Yellow
Yoshi starting off on the mound for the Scrambled Eggs. I wasn't expecting that. Yellow Yoshi not really known as much of a pitcher.
I kind of respect
about that decision, Willie.
I kind of respect it because you take a weak pitcher, you put them on the mound early to get them out of the way for later, and more importantly, you look at where they're going to end up next. Yoshi will be the secondary pitcher for this team, and when he slots in, Yellow Yoshi will swap over to shortstop. Both of them have that tongue catch ability, so both of them are players that you would look at and say, yeah, I trust you in this shortstop position. And for right now, at least, the Scrambled Eggs are, well, doing well enough as Diddy Kong hits a wheat ball to the second base position, allowing the double play to be turned, and that's 3 outs and 3 batters against the revenge. Monty Mole, I think, has been kind of a standout looking pitcher that we're all keeping an eye on, haven't we, Silver Lily?
Yeah, honestly. Monty Mole pitched a complete game in the preseason, didn't quite manage it the second game. Looking to see how he performs today, but really been a surprisingly resilient talent on the mound. I think resilient's a good way to put it. Good at getting himself out of jams even when worked into them.
Well,
and of course, defensive infield like that one, that's going to help out a lot too.
Yeah, talk about getting them out of a jam. The ground ball goes straight into Brown Critter's hand, and him and Boomerang Bro are able to turn the double play relatively easily. Yellow Yoshi is the one who keeps the offensive pressure on with a good single right up the center to Paragoomba. Now it'll be, well, we'll have to see if Baby Peach is able to turn much offensively versus Monty Mole. Not a bad slap from the baby. Silver Lily?
My apologies, Willie.
You want to yell at me in the chat?
I'm not yelling at you in the chat.
No, I know. I just think it's really funny to be like...
Wow, I look away for a second just to check some notes. That is the official canon for what just happened. And I see the bases have been loaded by the Scrambled Eggs with Yoshi, Baby Peach, and Yellow Yoshi from first to third. It won't matter as hits right over to Brown Critter, and that's enough to get the Revenges out of the jam. Boomerang Bro steps up for the top of the second.
Now, we gotta take a look at what the Revenge can do in a very dangerous part of their lineup. Well, Boomerang Bro, in his first official plate appearance of the regular season, says not much, as his line drive goes right into Wiggler's glove. Brown Critter tries a very similar hit, but a grounder instead, and manages to successfully get a single. Now the question for the Revenge is, can the rest of the roster take advantage of that man-on when the two most dangerous sluggers on the team have gone through their batting order? Eggman says...
A bobble from Captain Yoshi?
Yeah, that's a shame. Although the chemistry with at second base at least lets her grab that one quickly and stop the disaster. Still getting one out on that play. Nehru
going for a star hit that actually serves her pretty well, but a base running error by Brown Critter.
What are you doing,
Wanted
my man?
to try going for home and then wasn't able to slide back into third. This is a bit of a chaotic game, Willie.
I mean, it's Yoshi Park. It's cursed and I hate it. I hate Yoshi Park. I hate Yoshi Park. I hate Yoshi Park. Petey Piranha, though.
I love Yoshi Park.
Yeah, no wonder. Yoshi Park is the most chaotic, sin-filled stadium in the entirety of Grand Slam Galaxy. No wonder that you like it.
I need everyone to be clear. I am the home commentator for the Infernos, and am privy to their field decisions. They have preemptively banned Mario Stadium for the entire season as the away game.
Good, hard-working Mario Stadium, ever the reliable. Speaking of reliable, Wiggler, Mr. Consistency, cleans up the offense a little bit after his team hits into a double play, and King Boo will try to take advantage and just barely evade Paragoomba's glove, allowing Wiggler to get all the way to third base.
Meanwhile, Commissioner Willie, while privy to every single team's conversations as the commissioner, is more tuned into those of the Rotten Eggs. And they banned Yoshi Park away from the Infernos for that last game.
We're on game 2.
I just thought I'd bring it up, you Yoshi Park hater.
Alright.
We're also on inning 3 of game 2. Despite Monty Mole starting to tire, the Eggs are not able to make much happen there.
Let me make you sure that you understand everything that's wrong with this stupid stadium. Who on earth got the planning permissions? I want to know who the mayor is of this goddamn island. Is it Peach? Peach is running a stupid conspiracy. Why the hell would she ever allow a train to go right through a baseball park? It's unsafe. We've seen multiple babies get run over by trains as Yoshi hits a nice catch on that attempted single from Green Paratrooper to reel that one in and keep the Revenge honest. Meanwhile, excusing all the fucking babies that die, I want to know how Boo got that stupid 2-run home run last season that let the Monsters actually beat the Rookies on this stupid stadium. Because if the Monsters had just lost,
that could have happened on most parks, okay?
If the Monsters had just lost, maybe they would have had a few more fans in the finals of Season 1, as opposed to everybody hoping for the Rookies to win because the best team in the league is somehow the underdogs. And now as baby Peach steps to the plate, she'll watch the first strike fly over, as that's good for Monty Mole, who started tiring out a little bit earlier, but she'll be caught up by Boomerang Bro at the second base position.
Captain Yoshi stepping up now. It is Yoshi's Park. As one crowd member pointed out, possibly constructed with all the money he saved from tax fraud.
It's a place of sin!
On first base, and it looks like Monty.
I don't care what the devil says. Tax fraud is sin.
Maybe that's why the Infernos perform so well here. Anyway, stepping up now, but Boomerang Bro trips on his own ass.
That was an excellently placed banana. We gotta give props to Petey Piranha for aiming that beautifully and allowing his teammate to reach first.
2 on, and we might see the first score in the top of the third, but here come Peridot and Ollie hoping to make the jump, and the power couple in the outfield.
The power couple?
Catch that one. Yeah, they're dating. This is, did you not know?
No!
Do you not follow the same rumor mags I do?
Did they post an announcement on Blue Sky or something that I missed? I thought I followed all the players' social media, but
I think they wanted to keep this, you know, it's not like ever been officially announced, but it's just kind of been like league common knowledge. I thought as the commissioner, surely you'd know. Who got out just there? I lost track. Anyway, Diddy Kong hitting an excellent hit over the head of Captain Yoshi. Tried to make the jumping play for that one, but was unable to do so. Boomerang Bro now up, going to hit a line drive out to Wiggler. Line drives up center aren't actually the best for getting bases, as you usually get, well, they're usually caught by the center fielder. Yoshi makes the tongue catch, doesn't manage to get Diddy Kong out due to shell interference, but in place in time with the laser throw turnaround to first base, gets Brown Critter out anyways. And we are now in our 8th half inning, the bottom of the 4th. Nobody has scored yet.
which is wild to see on Yoshi Park. This degenerate, stupid stadium is known to hand runs to people randomly, almost. Mr. One Sister C steps
Yoshi
to the
Park
plate.
is a very consistent and predictable stadium. The train comes at regular times. You know exactly where the hazards are on the map and when they will and will not go off. Okay, just because you like boring Mario Stadium, the worst stage in the entire league, as we see a close play from Blooper managing to ink up Eggman's eyes and squeak into home plate for the first score of the game off the bat of King Boo. Because you like Mario Stadium, the hazardless, boring, standard baseball park you could see in any other league but the ILB. Okay? You don't get to trash talk the most interesting and consistent stadium in the league. Diddy Kong going for a star pitch for the first strike against Cookie.
I need another co-commentator as the train instantly makes itself known, stopping Paragoomba and Monty Mole from being able to make any level of defensive play there, and Cookie. A well-aimed, well-timed shot lets both runners on base safely reach home.
Ollie and Montague Mole. Okay? I don't want to be hearing this from you.
Pulling up the names again.
Goes by Monty for short, but I don't know if you get to call him his nickname anymore.
Oh my god. Well, now
The first out of the inning off of that fielding there, Diddy Kong just trying to hold down for the mound here. Another score runs in. I forgot which player was on third. Because my co-commentator and the commissioner of this entire league has terrible taste. Some excellent item play, helping the Eggs really just get a high-scoring inning here.
I'm gonna break another controller. Diddy Kong, you would hope, and finally, off the bat of the third out of the inning comes in, but you would hope that Captain Diddy Kong would have a stronger defensive showing on his first inning on the mound. Regardless, the Scrambled Eggs open up the scoreboard 4-0 in a way that definitely happened. I think I blacked out for part of that inning. And Eggman will be the one to start off the offense for the Revenge in this inning with a very well-aimed single up to center field. Yellow one.
They were looking to follow that up with a good charge hit to right center field. Good enough for a single. Eggman considers running to third, but rethinks it, and probably the better choice.
Now it's up to Ollie.
Ollie.
Or
Short for
Olivine.
Olivine.
Olivine, of course. Ollie will continue the trend of these revenge hitters and the center of the field, but this time a low, slow grounder evades the infield and is good for a single, and just like that.
Peridot is going to go for another slap up the center, and we're seeing the Revenges, and I've said this about the Infernos, but they're at least making it work. The Revenges' small ball-focused game plan at play. They really only have a couple slugging potential hitters on this team, and it's Brown Critter and Boomerang Bro. The rest of them are really just trying to make good slap contact to the right parts of the field, and after admittedly having their league best defense run over a little bit by some good play from the Eggs, they're starting to wake up their own offense.
2 runs with no outs so far in this inning. Bases remain loaded, so it's always possible for a double or even triple play to change that equation very quickly. But Monty Mole, the starting pitcher, allowed to keep on that pressure. A charge hit will see nothing, though. And the third pitch. Slapped.
It's a slap. There's a foul block. A bobble. Shy Guy. Oh, and he eats the pow, and it's a double play. One still comes in off of it, but that's going to short circuit the rest of the Revenge's revenge on offense.
No, let's hype up. Ooh, there. I don't think that was a bobble. I think that was one of the best defensive plays that this league has seen, as knocks that ball over to Yoshi, lets the pow block hit the runner because she could tell that was going to happen, and her excellent positioning allowed both the double play and the cleanup. Well, she didn't have an impact on the next play, which was that fly ball that Wiggler managed to catch out easily. Petey Piranha, though, going for a big home run, will be denied by Paragoomba.
Make it.
Sorry, Ollie. It messes. It's fine. I got this. Ollie and, are we actually calling him Montague Mole?
I think you should have to.
Regardless, at the end of all that, the Revenge are only down by 1 run, and a big, not infield
Good
fly,
banana
but
ball from Diddy Kong. Starting to tire himself out, though. You can tell he's really trying to put his team on his back here. He even tried to slug a home run with a big charge hit at the end of his last at-bat. Ultimately ended up being just a pop fly because he does not have the arm for it that Donkey Kong does. He's just been trying to prove himself. That is the theme of the Revenge. Diddy Kong really trying to prove himself. But that single from Wiggler will be the end of his time on the mound, and Boomerang Bro is brought in, sacrificing a little bit of infield consistency in order to bring a fastball arm onto the mound.
I feel like
Boomerang Bro, after saving that inning, is now first up at bat, but a low ball like that, a low hit like that, will be an easy field for Captain Yoshi of the Scrambled Eggs.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of
The
lost.
Scrambled Eggs, because they also have yellow Yoshi, and it's like you've scrambled up the egg on Yoshi. This is coherent, I promise.
No, I understand what's happening
The
right now.
train coming in time to disrupt this play, going to turn a single into a triple. It's like we're on Peach's Ice Garden for just a moment.
That means that the tying run is on third base for Eggman if he can knock it in. And that good shot to right field with additional boost support and the train parking beautifully on top of it. Eggman may not take full advantage of it. I think that's going to be a little bit of a scolding later if I'm the manager. But that still means that the tying run of Brown Critter safely lands in. And just like that, after 4 innings of nothing, both teams fire into the scoreboard, and we've got a 4-4 score line.
Nehru hoping to keep it up instead. Both batters will get out, and the inning will end. Some great fielding by Captain Yoshi.
Wow. Okay. Now, the scrambled eggs, I don't think we should expect much from them offensively this inning. Cookie is a fine enough batter, but with Yellow Yoshi and Baby Peach following her up, I'd be a little bit surprised if we saw much, and Cookie's shot out to left field is easily fielded by Peridot. So now, Yellow Yoshi. Well, we've seen some offense from them so far this game, but that's a big pop fly, and I don't think the train is coming in time.
It especially won't be coming in time after Ollie decides to make the play, sacrifice the out on her part, and send it over to Monty Mole.
Baby Peach's
Another
single...
slap. Oop. Yep, the slap up the center will be good for a Baby Peach single up.
It means that Captain Yoshi, if there's one thing I would love to see from the eggs, it would be, well, what is Captain Yoshi's contribution here? Well, in this case, it'll be a very well-aimed shot and some more train interference. Baby Peach is trying to run home and will safely touch the base. And just as I'm trying to talk him down, Captain Yoshi is like, no, I got this, and successfully nets a triple to put the scrambled eggs back in the lead.
Some very impressive play there by Captain Yoshi. It's going to be on the lauded defense of the Revenge to keep this bet down, and they do so with a line drive up the third base line, fielded by Annie, the green shy guy.
I love Yoshi Park. I love Yoshi Park. I love Yoshi Park.
Ollie, great defender, not so great batter, especially when she can't see any of her friends on the bases. Not a great solo hitter. Gonna leave it up to Peridot to try and get something going this inning.
Two strikes isn't the start of much, but no. Slap hit goes right to the second base player of That means that we'll have 2 outs now against the Revenge, as Yellow Yoshi is kind of on a tear so far this game on the pitcher's mound.
That Yellow Yoshi is. It's been pretty impressive, I have to say. Annie is that
Nope.
some good item interference just to make sure there was no catch there? Makes it good enough for a triple. I was not expecting such a hit from a shy guy. They're great slap batters, but that was something special.
Monty Mole will attempt to at least keep Annie safe at third with a boo, but unfortunately Yellow Yoshi able to pick that one up, throw it to first, and end the inning. That means that the Revenge will get nothing in the top of the 7th. They have the defense to hold the scrambled eggs, or at least we would hope. But Petey Piranha says, oh, you have to stop me. And a weak hit ends in a quick ground out. Okay, never mind. Blooper's slap quickly caught out by Brown Critter, and it looks like it might be a fast inning from the scrambled eggs unless Mr. Consistency is able to find something. But an attempt at a charge hit just results in another ground out, and none of those balls were even able to leave the infield. It's a quick bottom of the 7th against the scrambled eggs, but they have 2 chances, the Revenge, in order to stay in this game. If they can't tie it up now, or at the top of the 9th, they're out of here. And if there's one part of the order I would expect to do that, it's Captain Diddy, who hits a good hit, line drive up the center field for a single, followed by Boomerang Bro.
Yoshi trying to keep Captain Diddy honest at first base, maybe throw Boomerang Bro off his game a little, and if so, it worked. Line drive up the center, fielded by Wiggler for that easy out.
Oh, no, that's foul.
Critter trying to make something happen off the club.
Look, he's the starred player, and that's a good deep hit to left field. Can Wiggler make it there in time to make the catch? No! Blooper and Wiggler aren't able to catch the deep, sudden shot from Brown Critter, and the starred player for the Revenge, well, makes a mark. That 2-run homer puts them in the lead, 6-5.
Eggman looking to see if he can keep the rally going now, staring down Captain Yoshi, who was swapped with the other Yoshi to maintain that infield defense I want to mention. But a tall player like Wiggler will be able to catch that ball before it gets onto the train tracks. And it's gonna happen again. Nehru like, watch how it's done, and then hits the exact same hit, just slightly changed angle.
You want to talk about a narrative heading into these last 2 innings. Let's talk about how the tables have fully been turned. It's now up to the Scrambled Eggs with 2 opportunities, 1 run down, to get their way back into this game. King Boo, line drive is a little bit too strong, and that's an easy catch for Ollie out in center field. Cookie, staring down Boomerang Bro now, charges, slaps it. Is the aim good? No. Ollie and Peridot make plays back to back, and that's 2 outs now in the bottom of the 8th against the Scrambled Eggs.
Yellow Yoshi actually able to send one over the head of Captain Diddy Kong. It's good enough for a single, but with 2 outs, Baby Peach and Captain Yoshi to follow him up, will it be enough to get his team back into the game? It seems unlikely, but Baby Peach goes for the charge hit. Train is far, far away.
A misplay from Ollie. A little bit of fear in the outfield, and Yellow Yoshi's quick speed lets them reach all the way to home. And just like that, a moment of hesitation cost the Revenge big as the Scrambled Eggs successfully tie up the game. Off a Baby Peach pop fly, Silver Lily.
A Baby Peach pop fly, Willie. And Captain Yoshi looking to continue up the single. Baby Peach considers running for home, but second guesses. Leaves it up to to batter in.
Runners on the corners, 2 outs, plenty of danger spots for this batter, but if she succeeds, the payout is gigantic. No. The slap hit goes right into Brown Critter's glove, and just like that, Silver Lily, we are in a tie ball game heading into the 9th inning.
That we are, Willie. That we are.
Let's take a look real quick at the rosters in their spots in the batting order. Ollie manages to find the hole for the single at least. Slightly, let's see, good or bad news for the Revenge. Ollie is batter number 8. Peridot is batter number 9. So they're about to get back to the top of the order, starting at a relatively weak spot. And that weak spot is shown as Peridot hits it right to second baseman, who cleans up the Lesbians for a double play.
And Annie is unable to make much happen. An excellent tongue catch by the Yellow Yoshi, and the current infielder, replacing Captain Yoshi when they swapped off the mound. That will keep the game tied as we head into the bottom of the 9th. Any run is good for a walk-off, and Petey Piranha is quite the player to start with in that situation. Boomerang Bro attempting to stay strong.
Not the train. Not the train. Oh my god!
It's a walk-off train bucket home run.
No!
Excellent timing and placement by Petey Piranha.
You can't do this!
End the game. Captain Yoshi's home stadium working for them there in that last second.
Justification!
The Scrambled Eggs take a very close game, 7-6, over the Revenge.
I was right!
You weren't right about shit.
PD Piranha seals the game off something that can only happen on Yoshi Park. The train homer, the train basket homer seals the deal, and the Revenge have a rough start to their season as it's the Scrambled Eggs who pull away with this one. If I may, what the shit?
Well, what can I say, Willie? It is all about consistency, and the Eggs pull it off, aided by the consistent train schedule of Yoshi Park. Without the train, who knows what could have happened, but Yoshi Park's also a fairly long field, and PD Piranha had home run attempts stuffed by its dimensions before in this game.
I'm not sure Yoshi Park is actually that long. I think it's relatively standard sized. Regardless, hey, scoring that walk-off homer will get anyone MVP honors in my book. Let's talk about the Fallen to start off. The Revenge, their first hiccup in their, well, long march to a playoff contender position. We talked about the potential that this roster has, the potential that they realized in the preseason. However, the Scrambled Eggs hold them to a very, very close game, and a lack of offense, maybe, on Yoshi Park is what stops the Revenge. Now, I still think that they shouldn't look at this as a damning game. From my perspective, it was very, very close up until the end, and while Boomerang Bo had a rough showing in the batting box, everyone has off games. I mean, when you're beaten in the last half inning by a walk-off homer, you gotta hold your head high and just go next, right?
I'd say so, Willie. I'd say so. Of the defeats, that's probably the one it hurts. They all hurt. Every loss hurts. I won't say they don't. But that's probably one of the ones that you can be most proud of. You kept it going to the very end of the game.
Meanwhile, the Scrambled Eggs, led by the batting score of PD Piranha, walk out of their home game with a hell of a showing for it. PD Piranha, wait, did I miss something while I was blacked out with rage earlier? How did he get such a high batting score? He got that one walk-off homer and ... Question mark?
I think I might have been right alongside you in that blackout there, Willie.
Oh my god.
I'm not quite certain.
Regardless, also very excellent fielding and hitting. I would not describe Yoshi as a reliable batter. I think that's a very fair assessment, but he comes up big, getting his team all the necessary hits that they need. Although the play of the game, despite the walk-off homer from PD, let's review how the Scrambled Eggs won that game. Walk-off homer by landing it in the train bucket, and what happened one inning before that? It was a Baby Peach forced error pop fly in deep center field that allowed Yellow Yoshi to run all the way home and tie the game, leading to the Scrambled Eggs winning it with that walk-off homer. Two hero plays or misfortunate plays for the Revenge, maybe, depending on your perspective, heading into this game. Silver Lily, which side of the line do you land on when it comes to the end of that game? Loaded question.
I gotta give it to misfortune, especially that play by Ollie there to get out from under the bananas. The bananas were fired around her. I don't think she was under threat, and she had her partner out there in the field with her. We have seen players in that position go for a buddy field that she just did not go for. She chose the path of self-preservation, and her team ultimately lost the game for it.
Well, regardless, a very excellent showing from both these teams, but it's the Scrambled Eggs who notch away that one and start their season off by winning their home game. Now, we want to talk about batting power. We got to talk about our next team on the roster and how they're fair, as it's the Monsters in their first away game taking on the Daisy Flowers. Silver Lily, please load me up with all the information you can give me about this Monsters squadron.
I don't know what exactly to say that hasn't already been said in the preseason, because it is a monster of a squadron with amazing pitching talent, solid batting talent. We saw them have an amazing offensive game against the Monarchs, followed by a decent offensive game against the Rotten Eggs on Daisy Cruiser. They've got a solid outfield in the form of Goomba, Koopa, and Paratroopa. They've got a good infield with the two captains, the two co-captains, father and son's team of Bowser and Bowser Jr. They've got batting on Bowser and on the two Dry Bones players, Dark Bones and I think that's Blue Dry Bones. And Magic Koopa plus the two captains rounds out their pitching, with Iwata coming in as something as an all-rounder at that catcher position. It's just a very solid squad made up of the two captains that made it to the finals at the end of last season.
You want to talk about fear? If I was the Flowers, I would fear taking a captain caliber grand slammer like Bowser to Wario City. As a reminder, this is the Flowers' home game. They chose to go to Wario City, and the Monsters went to Wario City in the preseason, where they actually beat out the Monarchs. I'm not sure if you'd call that the sister team or the rival to the Flowers, 2-13, in no small part due to the power of Bowser's bat. So we're gonna have to see if the Flowers are more successful in shutting down that bat, or if they're more capable of bringing the hurt just themselves. A slightly revamped Flowers squad, with K-Rool falling into that 5th batter position. K-Rool, who definitely helped the Flowers show a lot of signs of life versus the Wilds. The Flowers may have lost that game 6-8 in the second day of the preseason, but K-Rool was a standout player, I would say, for them. And now if he's got one chance to finally, permanently come off fraud watch, I would say it's on Wario City. You would expect a player of his caliber to just be knocking away home runs. The rest of this team here, very fair defensively. We've got JC, the jacket, and Baby Daisy, as well as Red Yoshi in the outfield, which is a very capable outfield. We've got a secondary slugger in Critter, captain caliber players in Daisy and Luigi, both leading that batting box and leading off on the pitching for this team, leading to a relatively reliable pitching staff. I'll be curious to see which way this matchup swings. Do you have any closing thoughts on it before we head into this game?
Well, I don't think it's a secret that I have been a bit of a Flowers fan, and they have not changed up their roster all that much from last season, though I am now noticing the lack of a double Yoshi outfield that we had in the past. Huh.
Well, we'll have to see how it goes. I don't actually really like this Flowers lineup. We didn't even talk about Magic Koopa starting in the second base position to reel in those balls that try to fly past him. Actually, I don't think I finished verifying the rosters, so let me make 100% sure that we are all good to go here. I'd hate for us to get right into the middle of it and then run into issues, but a quick glance over shows me that we are all good to go. And for our second game on Wario City Night, where, as a quick reminder, the main difference between the daytime and nighttime is that at nighttime, those arrows in the outfield can send the ball much further and lead to much more wild arrow shots and tricky plays. The Monsters, if they want to cement themselves as a powerhouse, now's the time to do it. And if the Flowers want the same, if Kalil wants off Fraud Watch, well, now's his time to shine as we head into Wario City Night for game number 3 of the first Playday of Season 2 of Grand Slam Galaxy. And I'm going to have to figure out a better way to fit those 4 clauses back to back to back in future head-ins.
This is our third game of the day, Willie? Yeah,
third game of the day.
We will still have the Monarchs versus the Wilds after this.
Yeah, that'll be an interesting...
First, it's going to be Goomba hitting it right to one of those redirection arrows for a double. Not a batter you normally expect to see perform.
Yeah, the defensive coach for the Monsters last season showing up big in an offensive hit against them to start off this one. Now Koopa, we'll see how well he's able to perform against Mr. Consistency himself on the pitching mound. Magic Koopa will look to reel that one in, and while Koopa will be thrown out at first, that'll allow Goomba to reach third base, an easy scoring position should Paratroopa get a good hit. Good hit, smash ball.
Yep, that one's going to go over the head of Magic Koopa, and once again hit a redirection arrow for a double, an RBI double that allows Goomba to run home.
A double is when they hit a double, but you're like, oh, come on, that was dumb. And, well, an arrow shot is one category to get that. Bowser Jr. now. Well, ex-captain looking for a bunt, but his attempt runs foul, and with 2 strikes, Mr. Consistency keeping Paratroopa honest on the bases. It'll be a charge hit. The line drive caught out by Baby Daisy, though, and, well, not nearly enough time for Paratroopa to take advantage of it. 2 outs now at the top of the first.
The redirection arrows have just been getting hit left and right in this game, and they've been sending the ball left and right. It's been good for each and every single solid hit that the Monsters have gotten so far.
Speaking of solid hits, if Mr. Consistency wants his way out of this inning, he'll have to find it past the Captain Bowser himself. Charge hit, rocketed out to left field. I don't expect JC and Baby Daisy to make that in time, no. And the slugger makes himself known as he hits a 2-run bomb for the Monsters and increases their lead to a comfortable 4-0.
An amazing start for the Monsters that has not stopped yet. But with the bases empty and Magic Koopa up, this might be Luigi's moment to try and get out of this inning.
It was a good attempt on that curveball. Boo won't help much either, but Magic Koopa will still reach first base. And at this point, your goal on the defense is really just to stop them. And, well, I guess that's always the goal of the defense. But you really want to make it take as long as possible for Bowser to come back to that plate. You let up a little bit of offense early, but it's the early game. It's 4 runs, but it's inning number 1. If your batters can capitalize and you can stop Bowser from coming up for as long as possible or bring him up in an awkward position, well, there are worse ways to start this game, and there are better ways to start this game for the Flowers as the captain, Daisy, attempts a big rocket bomb of her own, but she doesn't have the power, she doesn't have the speed, and Goomba and Koopa in the outfield will be in position to pick up that one.
Luigi making an attempt now. It's another long bomb, and that is actually out of there. I don't think I've ever seen a Luigi home run.
That might be the first one, and it can really only happen. I mean, if the fence was back just a little bit more, if it wasn't for those damn zoning laws requiring us to keep 10 feet of space between us and the theater doors, yeah, that might have been caught, but no, with that little extra divot in the center field, that's good for Luigi to knock away a homer and at least start the offense for the Flowers. Luigi might not have as much help, but always a chance for the Flowers to start knocking away some of these home runs as Critter steps up and drills it. Not a home run, but good for a single.
Right in time for potential fraud, potential hero, King K. Rool to step up to the plate. Now, a home run here would not tie the game. It would not put them ahead. It would only shrink the deficit to 1 point, but that would still be much better for the Flowers than what they have right now. King K. Rool watches 3, watches 4, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Swinging on this one has to. That'll be a strike. Otherwise, right onto a redirection arrow. It's no home run, but it won't be an RBI double, just a regular double instead. Puts Critter on third, but with Green Magic Koopa up, that's not a lot of batting power to be counting on to try and bring those runners in. It will be a slap, and it will be an easy out for Bowser Jr. However, Blue Magic Koopa already starting to get tired.
Well, the Magic Koopas are not known to last very long on the mound, and shown off very well there. Magic Koopa having a solid job at it, but just not good enough as Blue Drybones immediately goes for a big knock, and just like that, the home run derby continues. We're going to have a hell of a long game here, Silver Lily, as it's Blue Drybones' turn. We can't start an inning in peace. We need score on the board, and the Monsters get back up to a 4-run lead.
Monsters aren't really in the strength of their lineup. I say that as if Goomba wasn't the one who started off their batting rally in the first inning. But it is still the best opportunity for the Flowers to shut them down while they are in their outfield core part of their lineup. And that is what Luigi is managing to do now. One more out to escape the inning. Will Paratroopa be it? No, sends it sailing just over the head of Green Magic Koopa. A jump not good enough and out of range of the catch spell. That'll put one on for co-captain Bowser Jr. Bowser Jr., winner of last season, knows to send it up center.
Yeah, not a power hitter, but quite the reliable one. And Dark Bones now, I mean, this might be optimal for the Flowers if they're able to get an out on Dark Bones and force Bowser to come up next inning without much. But, well, the Dry Bones do it back to back as Blue Dry Bones earlier in the inning and Dark Bones now hitting a massive 3-bomb. And the Monsters' offense continues to do damage. Again, you're almost happy to see this as the Flowers, but rather than starting off next inning against Bowser with nothing on the bases, now he just has nothing on the bases. But his deep hit will stay inside the field and allow JC to pick it up for the final out of the inning.
Taking the fireball just to make sure that JC could catch that. Little bit of reckless child endangerment there. Is that okay when the child does it to theirself? I don't think so. That's 2 4-run innings back-to-back for the Monsters, and Red Yoshi leading off against Magic Koopa at the start of the bottom of the second for the Flowers.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm really impressed by Dark Bones and Blue Dry Bones. And now your hope for the Flowers is that performance is just a little bit of a hot showing from them, and that they can't keep that up for the rest of the game, because if they are, then, well, there's almost no point in playing it out with that level of power on the Monsters squad. Flowers not able to follow it up. They will get back to the top of their order, but with nothing to show for it through that half inning. The responsibility falls back to them to shut down this Monsters offense.
A flower pitch right away by Daisy, but the fireball is in place. And that means that Magic Koopa makes it to first base.
Iwata now, which, reminder, batter number 9? Double checking. Batter number 9.
8.
Oh, batter 8, yeah. Oh, no. Oh, I just checked who was next, as Iwata's good hit puts runners on the corners with no outs. And who is it but the hero of the hour, Blue Drybones, with a chance to knock one big. His next pitch settles for a slap.
goes for the slap instead, and that will be easily fielded by JC.
Now it'll be up to Goomba. Daisy wants to put a little bit of pressure on with a star hit. Goomba does swing into it. Will the shell be fast enough to catch out this catch by Critter? It will be. That means that that's good for a single. The runner on third, Magic Koopa, touches home. And now runner on first, runner on second. 1 run so far in this inning for the Monsters.
The magic catch by Magic Koopa will get the runner out at first, but the other two advance to scoring position, second and third. Another flower pitch by Daisy. This one might have some luck, but Paratroopa, with the good instincts, just doesn't swing on it. It ultimately won't matter, as the next hit is fielded over to Critter. There's no item support to break anything up this time, and that'll be the Monsters' first not 4-run inning, but it isn't scoreless either. You know, I feel like we normally see Drybones players who have real slugging potential go for slaps.
Don't tell me that we're actually okay. Goomba and Koopa do catch that attempt by a bomb. I do also think that the Drybones, I think that the players are smart enough sometimes to realize bases are empty, just go for a slap, try to get someone on. Bases are loaded, go for a big play. Worst case scenario, you'll get a sac fly. But with Daisy's attempt getting caught out, and now Luigi, who we always look at as the slap hitter, going for his own follow-up home run, no, the line drive stays in and is caught by Koopa the Quick in center field. That means that just like that, the Flowers have nothing to show for it in the bottom of the third, with 2 outs, except a good arrow shot from Lou EZ that lets him reach first base.
Critter now, if someone's going to put it away this inning, it will have to be Critter, because if Critter doesn't, or at least doesn't get a hit, then K. Rool won't have a chance to step up. 2 strikes now with that whiff, and it's a weak bit of contact, and that'll mean that K. Rool comes up at the start of the bottom of the 4th by himself. He'll be leading it off.
Well, I would not believe it, but I think that the Flowers might go for another early inning bomb next batting order, and the consistency of the batting from Bowser Jr. lets him knock away a single, and he'll be on his base when his father comes up next. In the meantime, though, dangerous batter himself, Darkbones, gonna be swinging into a Daisy star pitch, maybe? No, he'll watch that one go by. Second pitch now. Steal attempt for Bowser Jr.
Daisy's star pitch is admittedly one that can be somewhat easily disarmed. The steal attempt pays off, gets Bowser Jr. all the way to third. That's what I was saying, the star pitch can be easily disarmed if you just don't swing at it. She basically has to throw it on a third strike situation. Doesn't usually. Batters will still sometimes swing at it, but I think they're starting to get a little more clever around it. Runners still on the corners for the Monsters. Boo's not going to break up an easy pop fly like that, but it'll actually be a sac fly as Bowser Jr. runs home.
And just like that, Daisy is taken off the mound and Green Magic Koopa is put on very early. You don't expect Daisy and Luigi to tap out just in the top of the 4th, but when the monsters are running roughshod over their opponents, well, fair play. Now, well, if you're the Flowers, you're kind of just happy that you managed to get past Bowser, only letting up 1 run total in the inning, but someone's got to shut this offense down. Green Magic Koopa is as good a player as any to do it, but it means he won't be in that key second base position. Blue Drybones finds the slap and it's clean over Critter's head to reach left field, and now it's Goomba coming up with loaded bases for him. Charges it up, deep hit to right field, but Red Yoshi is going to be in that position for that.
Yeah, out at any base, but it's also an out in right field where Red Yoshi was able to catch that fly. Still no scoreless innings for the Monsters after 4 innings of being at bat. K. Rool wants to just get something at least. That something is going to have to be a single if he even manages it. Barely squeaks it in. The contact has not been great from K. Rool today.
Magic Koopa faces down Green Magic Koopa. Will have to be the one to try to advance the Slugger, and in this battle of kings, it's King Koopa that's looking to be on top so far, but at least King K. Rool will be able to advance all the way to 3rd off that very well-aimed single from Green Magic Koopa.
Magic Koopa will finally take himself off the mound and put in the king himself, King Koopa, to face down batter Red Yoshi for the Flowers. That will move their Magic Koopa into a crucial infield position.
Oh my god.
Oh
my god!
Oh, and with a throwing error, that's good enough to get everyone on base and 1 runner in with no outs. I wasn't sure how to cast that, Willie.
Okay, let's talk about what just happened. The green shell hit both the runner and Magic Koopa who was trying to field it. That led to Bowser Jr. having to pick it up, but as a starred player, sometimes their arms can be a little bit more powerful than they're expecting when they have that extra star juice behind him, leading to him missing the throw, and that error allowing both runners to successfully touch base. On the next play, Baby Daisy advances the runners but is caught out, and the infield is able to keep JC off the bases while keeping the runners on 2nd and 3rd honest. Very good IQ from Magic Koopa to throw it home and stop the play from Daisy, but the pow block next allows Green Magic Koopa to run all the way home. Daisy touches first base and it's runners on the corners for Mr. Consistency. Can I take a breath, please?
Yes! Strike 1. Luigi charging up once again, wants to repeat his performance from earlier in the game, but Koopa was already in position to take that shot and it missed anyway. That run will not be good. It is not counted. It's a 2-run inning for the Flowers, which is the best they've had so far, but it's still a 7-run deficit for them behind the Monsters.
If the Flowers want to come back into this game, yes, their offense needs to show up. I think they have a very strong possibility of having that happen with K. Rool still. He hasn't succeeded yet, but he's at least been getting on base, and, well, fair enough. We'll look for big, deep hits later. No, it's the defense that needs to come alive, just like that, with Critter catching that attempt by Paratroopa and turning the double play to clear the bases. The defense is what I'm looking at right now from the Flowers. I know that you have the offense in you, but you have to stop letting the Monsters run away with it.
Well, right now they're managing it this inning. There's nobody on base and 2 outs for co-captain Bowser Jr. A quick slap to right field over the head of Captain Daisy is going to be in good enough for a single that does set up Dark Bones to try and make something happen here. Star pitch from Green Magic Koopa, trying to prevent the team from getting too much deeper into this pitching rotation. It will be a good slap single out to center for Darkbones, and that puts 2 on and 2 sources of inspiration for Captain Bowser with a line drive that squeaks over the fences only on Wario City. Was that a home run? And it is a devastating home run, a dagger to the heart of the Flowers who were trying to mount their comeback.
Well, so far the Monsters have actually tied, surpassed, double checking, tied their game that they got against the Monarchs in the preseason at 13 runs. So if the Flowers are able to stop the bleeding here, they'll have been scored on as much as the Monarchs were. But with K. Rool coming up to pitch, we'll have to see whether stopping the bleeding is on the table. That's a devastating fastball off his star pitch, to be fair, and it leads to weak contact from Iwata, letting the third out of the inning finally be found.
Now it's up to K. Rool to see if the Flowers even have a chance left in this game. We're still only in the bottom of the 5th, Willie.
Now, if there's one part of the batting order for the Flowers that I would want to see at the start of an inning, it's Lou Easy, followed by Critter, followed by K. Rool. And Lou Easy starts us off with a very well-aimed single to put himself on base.
Charging up already from Critter, but that Bowser fastball is wicked if you're not ready for it. It's a good line drive out to left field.
Take yourself off photo watch, K. Rool.
Not in time for the out, slides back a bit.
Photo watch, K. Rool. I'm telling you, he charges early. Good contact. It's deep right. Can Koopa and Paratroopa make it their time? No. It's something. And it's a 3-run bomb from K. Rool. If his team wants back in this game, it's got to start now, and it'll start with 3 additional points on the board.
Bowser gets to breathe a little bit of a sigh of relief as Magic Koopa steps up, charges up. You're not a home run hitter, Magic Koopa. And that is proven once more as Koopa the Quick doesn't even have to run to catch that one.
Red Yoshi not known as much of a hitter as Bowser Jr. makes a diving play. To bring up a point I said earlier in the game, your goal at this point is to get the batting order rotated and get those sluggers back on the field. So really, yeah, runs are nice here. You don't expect these players to bring in runs. A single, even if it doesn't bring a point on the board, at least advances your win condition. And it won't be enough as Baby Daisy's attempt at a home run herself is caught out by Koopa and Paratroopa. I'm not sure we've ever seen a Boo actually deployed on a home run caliber hit. So that's funny to see, but it's still caught out. And it's a good 3 runs on the inning. But, well, that's still a 7-run deficit that you find yourself in.
They're at least going to prevent Blue Drybones BDB from increasing that deficit by himself. K. Rool still trying to put up an excellent pitching performance. Wicked fastball.
Yeah, it's not a bad fastball from the King. It looks like he really wants to step up on this. The nice thing about a fastball like that, we didn't really see this from Mario, for example, earlier, as a Boo allows Koopa to get what was a good single into a great double. We didn't see this from Mario earlier, but one nice thing about fastballs that quick is that they can catch power players off guard and not ready to hit it, leading to some bad contact and hopefully some easy outs. When you're trying to disrupt a team of power, like the Monsters, that extra fastball can mean something. Unfortunately for the Flowers, Luigi is not able to keep his glove on that one, and that puts runners in the corners, 2 outs, and Bowser Jr. at the plate.
Putting a little star power into that one. K. Rool trying to get out of the rough situation, but Bowser Jr. finds the line. It's up the center like always. Leave it to the championship player to know that. And that will knock K. Rool off the mound and put on Baby Daisy.
That means there is no outfield chemistry anymore, and Darkbones takes immediate advantage A slow shot right up the middle, leading to another big 3-run bomb. Clears the bases and, I think, starts to wipe away the hopes of a Flowers comeback at this point in the game. Come on, Baby Daisy, one batter.
Tired after that one.
Big line drive from Bowser, stays in the field this time, though.
It's Magic Koopa now stepping up. Hitting one out to left field. It's good for a single. Baby Daisy not even able to work in the weakest part of the Monsters' order, is already going to step off and let JC take the beginning, or blah, 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 I'm just gonna stop.
I think this is pitcher number... Is this pitcher number 6 or pitcher number 7 for the Flowers now?
I think you're a little bit ahead, because they had Luigi, they had Daisy, they had Magic Koopa, they had,
K-Rool.
Oh no, it's number 6.
Yep. Well, that pitcher is brought to the plate now, and in the bottom of the 6th, well, the Flowers have a hell of a hole to dig themselves out of. Bowser immediately reminding everyone of that star pitch that can send away so many opponents so quickly. And, well, JC will catch that one. It's a clean single. Daisy has gone for so many home runs so far this game. If she can get one with a runner on, well, that's a good line drive, but it stays in the park, and it's an easy catch for Koopa out in center field.
Daisy's been having a rough time hitting lately, trying to recapture that team rallying hit she had at the beginning of the first season. Just has not been able to do it in recent days, lacking that star power that gave her that extra oomph. Instead, it's going to be on the Jersey players, Mr. Consistency, and a little help from a redirection arrow to start the scoring once again. Louise hitting it well to find that arrow just past the glove of Koopa the Quick. Allows 2 to come in off a double.
Yeah, that's at least something for the Flowers. Reducing the deficit to under 10 is always nice, and with Bowser stepping off the field, Bowser Jr., in my opinion, one of the best closing pitchers in this league now, up to try to stop this potential runaway offensive inning from the Flowers, but Louise barely makes it in time. That was a greedy run. I thought he was going to be caught for sure. And that critter single lets the man on second run home.
That brings the deficit to 8. It's still an accomplishable amount when you're in the bottom of the 6th, but we also have to keep in mind how deep into their own pitching rotation the Flowers are.
Critter.
And a running error from Critter will mean that instead of having runners on first and second or runners on the corners, there's just King K. Rool sitting over at first.
Yeah, not to mention, not just the Flowers' pitching worries, but with no outfield chemistry anymore, that should let the Monsters just continue to run as rampant as they want with those deep hits. Green Magic Koopa caught out by Magic Koopa at second base, and the Flowers' scoring is coming alive. They're basically keeping pace with the Monsters over the last 3 innings, but, well, let's watch what happens with Blue Drybones at the plate. A good slap. Almost finds the hole in the outfield, but it's good for a single. Definitely the back section of...
stepping up now. Now, Jersey players are known to be pretty decent pitchers. They can pitch for a while at solid player skill level.
Yeah, that quick comment. That power block did take out the runner, and it hitting the runner did protect the fielders and allow them to turn that double play. So that's a disastrous item error from the Monsters. Still, Koopa hit a good single to touch base, and you were making a point.
I was just saying, it may be a little bit before we see JC off the mound, especially with the defense tightening up just enough to prevent some of these singles. But as I was saying that, we get the Koopa Paratroopa combo, back-to-back hitting singles to get on base. Co-Captain Bowser up. We've seen this story before. I'm expecting it to go past second base. Whack, up the center, over to King K. Rool in center field. Exactly as I thought, bases loaded for Dark Bones.
He's already hit 2 3-run bombs, and he's offered a grand slam on a silver platter if he wants to take it. First attempted hit is just a slap that whiffs. Second is a deep charge that flies out to left field. That one's out of there, and that is a grand slam, and the first of Season 2. As Dark Bones racks run number 7, 8, 9, and 10 off their bat alone in this game.
I don't mean to be a pessimist, but I think that may spell the end of the Flowers game. Even if there's a few innings left to play, a 12-run deficit with only 3 innings left. Well, we were hoping for better from the Infernos earlier. It's not too late to hope.
Well, that arrow shot is pretty devastating, as it allows Bowser, not exactly a fast runner, to reach all the way home and kick this lead up to 13. Iwata, the bottom of the Monsters batting order now. Star hit, but Daisy makes the hero diving catch to make that play and finally end this inning. The Flowers have actually kept up with the scoring of the Monsters the last 3 innings, but will they be able to keep up with 5 runs put up on the board in 1? We'll have to see.
That we will, Willie, but I'm actually going to have to ask you to field commentary for a little while. I have to step away.
Of course. Well, we'll hope for a quick return from Silver Lily as Red Yoshi starts off the inning with a quick hit right to Bowser at shortstop, who makes that catch. Pretty proud of himself there for a routine play. Alright, Bowser, Drama King! Baby Daisy now, she faces the slider and watches it fly, as she'll have to watch out for Bowser Jr.'s hot pitching hand. Weak contact, well, unfortunately a little bit too weak. It was well aimed, but not hit hard enough, and Magic Koopa fields that for the out. 2 outs in the inning now means that JC needs to turn up big, and she won't turn up for much, as Magic Koopa again reels a hit in and successfully turns the 3rd out. That means that while the Flowers have kept up, that trend ends in the 7th as the Monsters put up 5 and the Flowers put up 0 to keep this scoreline at 22-9. Blue Drybones hits a relatively simple single, and Goomba will hit it straight to first base, where Lou Easy doesn't even have to step off the bag to turn that double play. Meanwhile, Koopa himself doesn't have a lot of luck. His hit is caught cleanly by Critter in that shortstop position, and it's something. It's the first silent inning for the Monsters this entire game. Now the Flowers just need to make up a 13-run deficit, starting now. Big charge, good contact from Daisy, but it's too good as Koopa quickly catches that one. Now, Mr. Consistency up to the plate, though the way he's been going for charge hits this whole game, we might have to take away that moniker, as his attempt at a charge hit is quickly fielded by Bowser. That's the 2nd out now, as both captain players fall. Lou Easy has been trying to step up to that Mr. Consistency mantle himself, and his shot will be well aimed with a little bit of Boo assistance to let him get a single and touch the bag this inning. So it'll be up to Critter. Job for Critter is either to home run, ding it, or just survive, both of which would be acceptable, but his first attempt at the bag will go foul. Second attempt now as Bowser Jr. pitches. Curveball is hit deep, but the Monsters still have chemistry, and Koopa and Paratroopa make that catch to deny the hero home run and keep the Monsters' lead just as solid. Silver lining for the Flowers. Well, the Monsters only have one more batting inning. And if you can at least get it together and stop this bleeding, I think you look at JC in the future as a very strong potential pitcher. Came in a very rough situation, has lasted a good amount of time on the mound. I think the longest of any Flowers pitcher. Led to the first scoreless inning of the Monsters. And, you know, this early in the season, you can't take a loss as that devastating. It's only 1 of 14. And at the end of the day, still plenty of time for the Flowers to turn this around like they did in Season 1. And just like that, 3 up, 3 out against the Monsters. JC turning out to be a very clutch pitcher for the Flowers as they are brought into the bottom of the 9th. K-Rule, you haven't escaped far to watch, and you're not going... Oh, just barely keeps it in the park with that line drive. I think that touched the top of the railing, but it's not good enough. So, we'll have to keep the King on a little bit of far to watch now, as even with that star power, he's not able to get the big bombs that you need from him in Warrior City. Green Magic Koopa, though, has had a really, let's be honest, a pretty great offensive showing, with that slap netting a single of their own and putting Lynn on first and second. But with Red Yoshi up, the Yoshis are not known to be great hitters, and his attempt will be quickly caught out by Bowser, who turns the double play, throwing out the other King at second base. Not fast enough, though, to catch out Green Magic Koopa at first. All the Monsters need is one more out, and it's the start of the daisy chain that they need to find it on. A paintball from Bowser Jr. to try to force a weak hit. Weak hit's exactly what he gets, as Baby Daisy grounds out to Magic Koopa at the second base position, and the Monsters seal this one 22-9 on Wario City. Well, we hyped up the Monsters for their slugging potential before this game, and I think that one just about puts the icing on the cake, as incredible batting, not just from the Captain Bowser, but down the scoreboard as the Dry Bones players step into their own. And the Monsters with a dominating game number 1 in the season. MVP honors going to Dark Bones, well deserved, putting up 10 of those 22 runs by himself with 3 big homers. And despite going a little bit quiet at the end as the Flowers found their footing, well, the entire scoreboard goes quiet as nothing was caught or sent out of this park past the 7th inning stretch. If you're a Monster... let's start with the Monsters because they're here. If you're a Monsters fan, you look at this game and you're happy that the undefeated streak continues. The Monsters went 2-0 in the preseason, so depending on whether you want to count it, and I'm sure Bowser will brag about it, that's 3 games in a row for them. And it looks like this father-son squad is doing all the damage that it promised to, especially when Dark Bones and Blue Dry Bones show up big for their squad. Meanwhile, on the Flowers, well, unfortunately for King K. Rool, he's not off far to watch quite yet. We definitely expected much bigger hitting from the big man. We hoped that he would be able to keep pace with this dynamic Monsters squad. Now, maybe not all the blame is on him. After all, the Monsters weren't just the Bowser show. Bowser was actually, good, but relatively... Bowser's the type of player where I can see 2 home runs in one game and be like, oh yeah, relatively quiet game for Bowser. Still, K. Rool still had a home run of his own and reached base, I think, more consistently than Bowser. I think I'll have to check the tapes later. Regardless, just not enough power from K. Rool And while Critter did his own work, and I would especially love to give a shout out to Lou Easy in that third batting position, it's just not enough to keep up with the Monsters squad. Not a lot of shame to throw their way. Not a lot of squads that can hold the Monsters, especially on Warrior City. You expect the Flowers to bounce back from this, definitely, and I'll be looking forward to their performance later in the season, especially if they can figure out these early pitching woes. Though, again, the Monsters on Warrior City, you're gonna run through pitchers like flies dropping into a vat of vinegar. Now, we'll head to game number 4, the final game of our first Playday, and the last two teams. You want to talk about slugging potential? Well, let's talk about slugging potential. You want to talk about defense potential? Let's talk about defense potential. As for our last game of the Playday, we're going to have the Monarchs versus the Wilds, as the Wilds, with home field advantage, choose to take us to DK Jungle. Now, the Monarchs, winners of the CPU Winter Classic, and favorites, I think, throughout much of Season 1 of Grand Slam Galaxy, though sadly for them, they fell in the quarterfinals of the playoffs, defeated by that 6th seed team. They ended last season in seed number 4, actually, being out for seed number 3 by the Miku Musicians late in the season, ending with a 500 record of 7-7, and unfortunately falling to the Spitballs in the quarterfinals. But, well, to add on to that, a lot of their batting power disappeared between the seasons. Boomerang Bro has changed teams. Fire Bro has changed teams. PD Piranha has changed teams. And in their place, Blue Critter and Blue Pianta will have to try to pick up the slack. Again, the Toad core and the excellent defense of the Monarchs cannot be overstated. But the through line we'll be watching out here, especially from their preseason games, is who does the damage. And with Blue Critter still starred, we'll be looking to him to see how much damage he can put up on the scoreboard. Extra question here, especially with all the pitching woes that we've seen today, is how will Captain Peach do on the mound? Her and Toadsworth will have a big responsibility, though with a slightly stronger outfield, I would say, with Blue Noki in that right field position. Otherwise, I think the outfield might be relatively the same from last season with Toadette and Blue Toad. Blue Noki in that right field position paired up with Toadette and Blue Toad. A very fast outfield. One of the fastest outfields, I think, in the entire league right now. Though, without any super jump potential, we'll have to see if they're able to catch the Hero Grand Slam balls that teams like the Revenge are able to catch. On the infield, no slouch either. Blue Critter, Blue Pianta, classic Critter Pianta, shortstop, second base combo. And then the infield, Toadsworth will be starting pitcher, Peach will be the obvious second string, and from there we'll have to see who they bring onto the mound. I would expect either Blue Pianta or Blue Critter, which would weaken that infield, I suppose, but they're fine pitchers in their own right. If rookie this season, excuse me, I have to double check her name. Trust me, you're not going to be able to guess it from the photo. If the rookie this season of Nerissa is able to be put onto the mound too, I would expect a good amount of damage from her. We'll see. Definitely a more defensive leading squad, but one with plenty of promise heading into the season. Meanwhile, the Wilds, a squad with devastating offensive presence. The two big hitters of last season, DK and Hammerbro, joined onto one squad. All the potential in the world for this Wilds roster to just keep hitting slam after slam after slam. Now, for the bands, the the Monarchs did ban out Warrior City, as well as the Disruptors. But that left Daisy Cruiser open. No, the Wilds didn't want that. The Wilds wanted DK Jungle. They wanted DK to feel right at home. Especially considering that they went to DK Jungle as their second preseason game and managed to score that win over the Flowers. Now we'll have to see if they're able to beat the sister team of the Monarchs with home field advantage yet again, with DK Jungle yet again. Can the defensive promise of the Monarchs shine through once again? Or will the power of this newfound, terrifying DK Wild squad bring home run after run after run? We'll find out as we're heading into the closing game of Playday number 1. Grand Slam Galaxy Season 2. I still need to figure out a quicker way to say all that. Let's begin. Oh, I also realized, side note, behind the scenes, you may notice that Peach's hair looks wrong. I'm starting to suspect that she may share some color information for her hair with a certain Sunset Stadium that we have installed, which I forgot to uninstall and still have to go uninstall. But that's my guess right now. Blue Critter immediately answering my question of who's the powerhouse of the Monarchs with an immediate home run off. Was that the first pitch of the game from DK? That was a fastball too. A star boosted fastball from DK. Yeah, second pitch of the game. First pitch was a strike, second pitch was a home run. And the Monarchs start off the scoring. Narissa follows up with a well-placed single of her own to get on base. And Blue Shy Guy steps up to the plate. His attempt at a hit is quickly fielded by Hammerbow, who will turn the double play with that second baseman of Baby DK. But, well, at least he got that big bomb home run as Blue Noki actually perfectly places a pop fly ball, and a little bit of extra field interference stops Dixie Kong from being able to field it immediately. Still, smart Blue Noki to stay on, especially with the ball that close to second. Blue Pianta, though. Big bomb out to left field. It will be caught by Tiny and Dixie Kong, but the gusto, the sheer chutzpah of the Monarchs, firing on all cylinders and firing under all conditions. They'll only put one up on the scoreboard, but that is a hell of a fiery start to their offense. Now it's the question of, can the defense keep that up? As Tato? I'm making sure this is right, actually. I don't want to accidentally have messed this up. No, yeah, Tato is right. Tato grounds out to the second baseman of Blue Critter, and Dixie Kong will be the one to follow it up. That slow curveball from Toadsworth, though. That can be devastating to these players, and the slider doesn't go much better either. As that one is knocked away by Dixie Kong. Her attempt at a hit will find its mark in left field, letting her get a nice single and put a runner on for DK. You want to talk about home run potential? Well, I really thought he was going to knock that one out of the park. These slow balls from Toadsworth can play against him when a hitter the caliber of DK steps up, but instead, all he gets this time is a line drive. It does mean the tying run is on third. Baby DK, who's been working on a swing between these seasons at the plate, and potential to immediately close this gap from the Wilds. Or more than close this... Oh no, that's a pillar shot. Yep. Baby DK immediately winds up and puts it to bed. DK might not have been able to turn that one away, but Baby DK with a perfectly aimed home run, I think his first ever in Grand Slam Galaxy, immediately tires out Toadsworth, and they're forced to retire that pitcher. And just like that, the Wilds go huge. Alright, Peach brought up to the mound. Her start pitch can be a little bit weaker, but that heart ball can try to sneak its way past batters. Won't find its way past Reggie, though, as his ball up the third baseline, narrowly evades the glove of Nerissa, and manages to get him a clean single. Funky Kong just evades Blue Critter's glove, and 2 near misses result in 2 big hits. That means we have a runner on second, a runner on third immediately. And unfortunately, my co-commentator Silver Lily will not be able to join me for the rest of the evening, so I'm going to be alone through this. That means that Gray Shy Guy's star hit caught by Blue Toad, but the extra power behind that star hit lets Reggie go all the way home. I won't call it a sacrifice fly because it was not a fly ball, but the sacrifice still from Gray Shy Guy lets the Wild score 4 in the bottom of the first, and it's up to Peach to try to find an exit for her team in this inning. Toadette, though, caught out a second time by the love pedals, and that means that runners on the corners as Hammer Bro steps up to the plate. Charge, swing, line drive, and Blue Noki not able to get under that one. Interference again, more lovey-dovey means that she is not able to stop any of the runners. It's only a single from Hammer Bro, but it's another run brought in the first inning. The Wilds are running away with it, and they put up 5 on the scoreboard. Peach now. Slow ball up the middle, caught easily by Tato. And extra field interference. How many field interferences have we had in this game? Hammerbro reaches third, and that's runners on the quarters immediately. Dixie Kong back up. Reminder, this is batter number 2. She'll find the hole in the defense for a single to bat in the next runner. Peach is already getting tired. We're in the bottom of the first. The Wilds have put up 7, and Captain DK, batter number 3, comes up with a huge hit that's way over the head of Blue Toad and Toadette for another 3-run homer. Baby DK and DK back-to-back homer. Not back-to-back, they both homer in the same inning. Baby DK first when Baby DK goes after DK. After all that, Blue Shy Guy is brought in from the catcher position. Peach relegated in the bottom of the first, and the bleeding stops as finally Blue Pianta catches the third out of that inning. But the Wilds, 10 runs. It's DK Jungle. This is not the easiest home run stadium, but the Wilds run rampant. Blue Toad for the Monarchs not having much luck either, as their attempt at a shot will be quickly caught out by Tato in right field. Follow up, Hammerbow at the shortstop position catches out that ball from Toadette, and just like that, Toadsworth, batter number 8, faces down 2 outs and a DK star pitch. Wisely lets that one slide past, but the next pitch, it's a fastball that he'll swing on. Baby DK will miss his dive, and the one thing that the Monarchs have going for them, as field interference also interferes with the Wilds, is a runner on first. Peach now, facing down DK, facing down a star pitch. She needs to not swing, and she'll let it slide. She'll knock that one out for a good single. Again, field interference as Dixie Kong catches the whiff of it. Blue Critter, who started off the scoring in this game, believe it or not, for the Monarchs, at least with a good shot out to left field, will let Toadette reach home. And it's Peach and Blue Critter on base. Toadsworth, touches home. And just like that, well, the Monarchs have something. They've scored in both innings, but can Nerissa keep the power going? That fastball from DK catches her unready, and Hammerbow and Baby DK quickly turn the last out of the inning. The Monarchs have something, but when you're down 10 runs, that's a hell of a hole to start shoveling sand into. Reggie now, for the Wilds, starts off the bottom of the second. Second time he's seen the plate, and a good single from him allows him to reach base. Up next, Funky Kong. Kind of a tertiary hitter on whatever team he's on, but still capable of big hits if you let him. That line drive will fall just ahead of Blue Noki, who will successfully manage to throw out the Funky Man at first. That's a good out number one. Gray Shy Guy faces down his cousin, the star hit. Excellently aimed out to the outfield. Toadette has to try to get a grip on it and barely does, but regardless, Reggie was already safe at home for the 11th run for the Wilds. So it's Tiny Kong facing off against Blue Shy Guy. 11 runs on the board already for the Wilds, and a big deep hit from Tiny Kong with no item assistance. Even with item assistance, you would hope that this would be a catch. And that's the second out of this offense. Hammerbow with another opportunity to remind everyone that he's a home run caliber hitter, especially with a runner on. Though when you're up 2-11, not a lot of pressure either. His line drive won't find its way past Blue Noki this time, who successfully fields that ball and manages to keep it to a single. 2 outs now. Tato, top of the order, back up for the Wilds, and the goal is just to get out of this inning. A boo, though, from Tato will let Shy Guy at least reach home. That'll put runners on the corners. That'll be a second run in the inning. That'll be a tiring Blue Shy Guy as Dixie Kong steps up to the plate. Watches the slider. Charges on the second pitch and makes good contact. Blue Toad will be under that one, and that'll be the end of the inning for the Monarchs. It's not as explosive as inning number one, but the Wilds have outscored in both innings so far. So let's watch the Monarchs with some care. Let's see if they can get an inning to outscore the Wilds here in the third. Blue Shy Guy watches the star pitch, watches the fastball, third pitch now, another fastball, but an excellently placed star hit of his own. A weird bounce off a tree root, not much of a problem for Tiny Kong, as she feels that expertly as best she can. But it's a single for Blue Shy Guy. Now Blue Noki, another well-placed hit. It's a batter's playhouse today. Now put a runner on first, runner on second for Blue Pianta. We've seen some Pianta home runs earlier today, but Blue Pianta will be satisfied with a slap. Keeps it just out of the glove of Dixie Kong, who will get that to second base quickly to catch out Blue Noki. That means there's 1 out, runners on the corners for Blue Toad, who with his own slap up the middle, and a fumble from Dixie Kong as she gets scared about that flower. That's going to allow the runner on third to reach all the way home. Blue Pianta goes from first to third. Again, hesitating there because they weren't sure if that ball was going to be caught, but still reaches third. And it's runners on the corners again for Toadette. Charges, contact, but up the baseline. Reggie catches that on the bag, and while he may have been pushed off it, he still kept hold of the ball. That means that the Monarchs are definitely staying consistent. 3 runs in 3 innings, but as Blue Shy Guy is taken off the mound and Blue Toad is brought in from the outfield, that does mean there will be a disruption in chemistry in left field. A disruption in chemistry that DK doesn't even care about aiming for. That's another clean home run shot. And off that boxing glove, I'm sure we'll see many more this season. Just like that, the Wilds score their run to keep pace with the Monarchs for this inning. Can they continue to extend their lead? We've already seen a home run from Baby DK this inning. But will watch the first 2 strikes before remembering where he is and just missing on pitch number 3. Blue Toad trying some slider shenanigans though will get caught. And Baby DK, a good single power block just to remind the Monarchs of the hole they're in, though it doesn't amount to much as he stays on first. Reggie's attempt will be caught by Blue Pianta at shortstop, who quickly turns that double play. One nice thing about the Piantas in the infield, it's hard to sneak a ball past them, and once they catch it, they can let it fly. And it's 2 outs now against the Wilds as Funky Kong steps up and nails a clean shot down the first baseline. Noki, fast, better outfield arm this season, does mean that they're able to clean that one up and keep it to a single, but still, excellent hit from Funky Kong. Shy Guy is definitely supposed to be the weaker part of the batting order, though it doesn't matter much for him, as that is a clean single to let him reach first, and now we have a run on first, run on second for Tiny Kong. If she can reach base, I'll be bases loaded in the worst case for the Wilds with Hammerbow coming up, and she does exactly that. Bases loaded, Hammerbow at the plate. Blue Toad, first pitch, tries to sneak one past him, but the fastball is caught. Thankfully, relief for the Monarchs. With that pop fly caught, none of those runs will count, and the Wilds will be held to 1 for the inning. Alright. Hi-ho, Mr. Toadsworth, as you're going to swing into a DK star pitch with actually some good velocity behind it. Those charge hits can really break through a DK star pitch. It's still not enough as Hammerbow catches it at shortstop, but props where it's due. Peach now. Back of the order. A good slap. You know, Peach really was one of, if not the weakest batting captain last season. So I'm happy to see her with a little bit of a better bat this season. Blue Critter with a good bat of his own to successfully get a single and put a runner on first and second for Narissa. She's going to face down a DK star pitch of her own. This hasn't worked yet this game, but it will work here as DK smartly turns the double play and stops the Monarchs for the first time this game from scoring a single run. That means that'll be a 10-run deficit for the Monarchs next time they reach the plate, if and only if they can actually stop the Wilds this inning, something they've not yet been able to do. Tato, again, the top of the order for the Wilds, with an excellent hit right down the middle for a single. Dixie Kong, run on first. It's a good attempt at a hit, but, well, Blue Pianta easily fields the ground out and turns it into a double play. That means empty bases for Captain DK as he faces down Blue Toad yet again. The slider attempt is knocked square in the jaw. Oh, that barely turns foul. Funny enough, I think that only counted as a foul because it was too high to hit the pillar. Because if those balls hit the pillars, well, the pillar is part of the stadium, so it counts as a home run. But because DK puts too much juice on it, it's a foul, and he'll have to settle for a single. Poor DK. Poor baby DK. DK, actually stunned by that foul block, allows the Monarchs to turn the third out of the inning. And that means that we will have a scoreless fourth. That's something for the Monarchs. Their defense has definitely improved over time. And especially with Captain DK being taken off the mound for Tato to try to see what she can do. That actually is not outfield chemistry disrupted, as DK does still have chemistry with the center fielder of Dixie Kong. A well-aimed shot from Blue Shy Guy with or without the boo turns into a single. Blue Noki has had decent success so far at the plate. We'll see what they're able to turn now, as the slap is quickly fielded by Baby DK, and the attempt at a fireball to break it up just goes too high. That means there'll be Blue Pianta up for the Monarchs with no support on the bases. It's a well-aimed slap, DK and Baby DK, though, fire that ball in from the outfield and secure the third out. And just like that, the Monarchs go scoreless out of the top of the fifth. Or don't manage to get anything on the top of the fifth, I should say. Again, Blue Toad, kind of the hero these Monarchs needed. Pitching a very, very good game so far and staying on that mound. As Reggie slaps one out to left field for a single. I'm going to say that quite a lot. Should start calling it, what, Faz? F-A-S? Nah, that's stupid. For a single. Funky Kong attempts a big deep hit. Toadette and Blue Noki though, but since it stays in the arena, they don't jump for it. And what could have been an out turns into a single. Just like that, runner on first, runner on second. Great Shy Guy attempts the star hit, but Toadette is there to stop it. And actually, the extra power pushes her out of the reach of the barrel flying past her and keeps her safe. Weird series of play here. Runner on first, runner on second for Tiny Kong, but Blue Pianta jumps up and snags that ball out of the air. Stops the Wilds, and just like that, both teams go quiet through 2 innings. Blue Toad now, hero pitcher for the Monarchs, hits his own well-aimed shot for a single to start off the batting for the Monarchs at the top of the 6th. If they want to come back into this game, I mean, small ball would definitely be the way to do it. They got to be careful, though. Small ball is all well and good, but when you have a star shortstop like Hammerbro in the infield, it's all that much harder. Toadette, though, manages to sneak one under DK for a single of her own, and just like that, Toadsworth is up to bat. Runner on first, runner on second, no out, but Baby DK makes a diving catch and turns the double play with Hammerbro. Inches away from catching out Toadette at first for the triple play, but that still means an excellent position for the Monarchs, gone in an instant. They still have Toadette on first, but Peach's ball caught out by Reggie at first before it even touches the ground, and that means that the Monarchs see no joy through 3 innings. The Wilds haven't seen joy for 3 innings, though. We'll see. Well, for 2. I actually don't know how the grammar of that works out. It's been 3 innings since their last run on the plate, and Hammerbro isn't able to knock one out of the park on that one. Still, a line drive, a single, is nothing you can complain about. Now it's Tato back up at the top of the order. She'll swing wildly at the first one. Blue Toad will attempt something closer to the inside, and it'll be caught out by Blue Pianta, who also turns the double play, and this is turning into a defensive showdown as the Monarchs start silencing the Wilds. Blue Toad's pitching ability is coming in clutch here. A reminder, no chemistry in left field right now. If the Wilds manage to take advantage of it, but they haven't yet, as Dixie Kong's light hit will at least successfully lead her to a single, and DK faces down a tiring Blue Toad. 1 strike, charges on the second pitch, whiffs. That's 2 strikes now. Blue Toad almost psyching out DK by keeping Dixie Kong honest at first. DK will settle for a slap, but it's high and slow. Toadette successfully gets under that, and just like that, despite a lack of chemistry in left field, no team has been able to score since the 3rd inning. Blue Critter, who started this game with 1 homer, charges up and hits it deep, but Dixie and Tiny know that play. They're in position in the left field to catch that one. That means that a good attempt just turns out into another out. Nolissa will have to face down Tato. A good slap, but it's not good enough to go over the head of Baby DK, as the Baby DK jumps for it, lands, and still catches it. Blue Shy Guy at least gets a very good hit out to left field for a single, and it's something to start the Monarchs offense. But, well, if Blue Noki can reach base, this will actually be a very dangerous position for the Wilds. Won't reach base, though. Blue Noki's attempt caught out by Baby DK in the second baseman position. That means that's 4 innings in a row where the Monarchs find nothing. Can they keep that trend up for the Wilds? Baby DK wants to say no with a big deep hit, but with a boo item? No, Toadette's got that ball. Yeah. That's a standard play for her, but Blue Toad, the hero, continues to tie it for the Monarchs. Pitches strike number 1. Reggie, with a solid line drive, will find, you're never going to guess it, a single. So with a runner on first and 1 out against a tired pitcher, Funky Kong hasn't made his mark offensively in the game yet and won't do it this time either. Blue Critter makes the diving catch for that ball, turns it back to first to catch out Reggie, and just like that, 4 innings in a row where no team has managed to score. Again, the Monarchs don't even have full outfield synergy right now. But still, finding their defensive hearts down 10. It's almost like these teams knew that they need to end with a 13-3 scoreline, reach that score too early, and then were just like, whoops. Well, might as well get the rest of this done with. Blue Pianta does get a good slap out to left field. So now Blue Toad, again a good slap out to left field, but this time Tiny Kong is under it. Not fazed by the bananas. She successfully and safely gets that ball in to keep Blue Pianta honest. So that's 1 out now against the Monarchs. What can Toadette do against Tato? Not... Oh! She can force a bobble. And a pow block does interfere with Blue Pianta, but then Baby DK throws it to third? Was he nervous because Hammerbro was still interfered with? If Baby DK had thrown it to second, that would have been an easy out, but inexperience showing for the young ape. And that lets Toadsworth come up. His attempt will be caught out by Tiny. So, as long as Tato can stop Peach, well, the error won't account for much. Alright, Captain. Now's the time to show up for your team. Charge hit. Caught out by Reggie again at first base. That first baseman coming up so huge for the team when he needs them. That's a scoreless top of the 8th, and if the Monarchs want back in this game, they'll have to replicate the Wilds' dagger 10-run first inning in the 9th. That's if, of course, they can keep the Wilds scoreless through 1 more inning. Blue Toad has been such a hero on the mound throughout so much of this, but he still asked for more. Great Shy Guy did reach first base off a single. Tiny Kong charges up and tries to, yes, succeeds in finding the hole in the defense for another single. That's a runner on first, a runner on second. Blue Toad is tired. Hammerbro up. Blue Toad, can you keep this magic going? Yes! Blue Critter and Blue Pianta turn the triple play. Hammerbro slap. Caught out by the most iconic infield in the game. What do I read from this game? Blue Critter, he started the game off with a homer. He tries to find something in the top of the 9th, but no. DK and Dixie are there to catch that one. It looks like the Critter might just be a bit too tired after that one. And that's out number 1. If the Monarchs want back in this, they need to average better than 5 runs per out for the rest of this game. Narissa slaps it and is caught out. 10 runs, 1 out for the Monarchs. Blue Shy Guy swings on Tato's pitch, not able to find the hole. Can he reach first? Yes, by an inch. Blue Shy Guy keeps this game going, but Blue Noki, not exactly known as a powerhouse hitter themselves, watches the slider from Tato's second pitch now. Fastball evades the tip of Noki's bat. Tato going for an inside pitch. We contact from the Noki. DK turns a routine play, and just like that, despite an explosive start, an incredible start from the Wilds, both teams slow down, run out of gas, and I mean, it's kind of hard to look at a 3-13 scoreline and say that the Wilds performed poorly offensively. I won't say that, but still, what started as a disaster just, well, turns into a bit of a nothing burger through 6 innings. The Wilds defeat the Monarchs 13-3 in one of the strangest games that I've seen in this league. Look, I hyped up... Okay, let's see who MVP is. I have to assume DK. Yeah. 2 big homers from him in the first... No. 1 big homer from him in the first inning to keep that run going. Yeah, he notched a second in the second. And after that, his team's offense just kind of sputtered out. But hey, when you get 2 homers, MVP honors, fair play. Kind of hard to be mad at that one for DK, as he's recognized and remains one of the strongest hitters in this league. Okay. It's a hard one to analyze, honestly. I hyped up the Monarchs as a defensive team, and they successfully shut down the Wilds throughout the last 2/3 of that game. But they did so with a hole in their synergy that would have let any home run caliber hit out of left field escape the Wilds just weren't able to take advantage of. I'm looking at the Monarchs, and first of all, I'm hoping that their pitching woes are fixed by next Playday, which they might need to fix something for the Monarchs, as maybe one of our stat updates between the first seasons might have turned Peach into a weaker pitcher than she should be. Regardless, you would expect more from them, and the home coach for the Wilds themselves join us in the booth. Coach, my boy Miles, how are you feeling after that game?
I actually feel pretty good. I expected to have a better version of this first game than I think last season. I did not expect it to go 10-1 in the first inning. That's definitely a surprise. I have a couple questions though. I have a couple interests. First of all, did you use the roster that I have in the roster sheet?
Yeah.
Okay. So hold that thought. Did I not do it right?
What's
no?
hard?
No. Okay, so why do you say I don't have full synergy? I'm very confused. I thought Dixie, Tiny, and Donkey were all
the
good
Monarchs
together.
lost synergy in the outfield during
the
the
Monarchs,
game because Blue Toad was brought in to pitch, and that disrupted their synergy as Gray Shy Guy was brought out to left field, and he does not have synergy with Toadette.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I apparently just can't listen. Okay. Yeah, very proud of the team.
Coach,
Yep.
a question for you. The Wilds had an incredible bottom of the first in this inning, but their offense kind of sputtered out throughout the rest of that game. I gotta ask you, are you looking at this as a positive, like an incredible, like go us, 10 runs in 1 inning? Or are you looking at this in the next couple of practices like, listen team, we gotta clean this up. You did great, but you gotta do better consistently.
I think I'll have to see, because I'm not entirely sure why they just decided to putter out in the last 6 innings. Not that I'm complaining at all. If we can get this strong of a lead in the beginning game, more times than not, I will be satisfied. But I will have to take a look. I feel like, though, the rest of the season's gonna be a strong one.
Well, I look forward to seeing the Wilds powerhouses progress through the season. Let me go ahead and get an updated roster page for everybody as we go on. Coach, one last question for you before you go. I want to ask, you've got DK and you've got Hammerbro on this team. Both players that enjoy the star power. And DK has taken not just the captain role on this team, but also that star power as well. How is Hammerbro fitting into a secondary slugging role, both on the roster and in the clubhouse?
He's taken it very well. He sees the benefits of giving the star power to Donkey Kong instead of him. We did have a conversation, but we felt that he was a solid enough hitter on his own that he would be a solid, just regular addition to the team. So we're going to keep him right where he's at. And hopefully he can keep hitting those slammers right down the middle. I know a couple of them are caught, but...
Well, Coach, thank you for joining us today. Any closing thoughts before we wrap up this Playday?
Big monkey season. Have a nice day.
Big monkey season indeed. Thank you, Coach, for joining us. Thank you for joining us here on the first Playday of Grand Slam Galaxy. We're going to have the standings for you ready in just a second. As a reminder, heading out of this, we're going to have 14 Playdays. It's a 14 game regular season that we'll be looking forward to. And as a reminder, next Playday, which will presumably be this Saturday, pending something surprising happening, these teams will not be facing the same teams they did today. Again, we have a bit of a schedule shakeup. Last season, we had series as teams went up against each other, home game to away game, back to back. This game, the schedule has been shaken up a lot more, so teams will face different teams as they go from Playday to Playday. So, a little bit more variation as we head in, and we'll have to see which teams are able to thrive in that slightly more chaotic environment. For right now, though, we have our standings coming out of Playday number 1. Again, only the first Playday, so there's a lot of baseball left to play. But for right now, please excuse me, the Monsters sit atop the scoreboard, winning their game with a plus 13 run differential. Might as well talk about their opponents, as it'll be a mirror for this entire scoreboard today. The Flowers fell to that onslaught. Honestly, if the Flowers avoid Warrior City against slugging teams like the Monsters in the future, I'm sure they'll end up fine. A pretty good performance for them considering the circumstances, and I'm looking forward to seeing both these teams play next week. The Monsters' opponent, by the way, they will actually be the away team against the Monarchs as they face down the Princess teams back to back. The Monarchs, which for the record, they beat in the preseason 2-13 on Warrior City. So, as long as the Princesses don't end up on Warrior City 3 times in a row, we'll see how the Monsters hang in that matchup. The Flowers, on the other hand, at the bottom of the scoreboard for right now, with that 1 game down. Their opponent next week will actually be an away game versus the Diddy Kong Revenge. So 2 0-1 teams will be up against each other, and the Revenge will have to try to reverse their troubles at the start of this season when they play the Flowers. I'm skipping all over, aren't I? Next team in the standing, the Wilds. 1-0. You saw their great attack versus the Monarchs today. Again, their preseason game 2 was when they sort of settled more into this roster, where they also won that one 6-8, and we were expecting a little bit more offense from them on DK Jungle. Still, enough offense to win the game is enough offense for anything. Their opponent next Playday will be the Rotten Eggs, with the Rotten Eggs having home field advantage. We'll have to see how that shakes out for them. Speaking of the Rotten Eggs, 1-0. One of these teams will fall to a 1-1 standing. The other one will stay at the top of the leaderboard. The Rotten Eggs had 2 very close losses in the preseason that ultimately turned around in this opening Playday to a very good win over the Infernos in Warrior City. But, well, when they're not able to go to Warrior City against the Wilds, which they absolutely should not, what offense will there be for them to show up on? As a reminder, in the preseason, they had a little bit of trouble with their offense on more traditional stadiums, and we'll have to see how they turn out in Playday 2. The Scrambled Eggs, our last positive team, 1-0. I'll start burning through these a little bit. Taking that win earlier today in that absolute nail-biter of a game versus the Revenge. They'll have to prove that that wasn't just a fluke, as they have home field advantage versus the Inferno next week. The Revenge, losers of that game, will have to prove that they are the real deal after being denied on Yoshi Park. Again, their opponent, the Flowers. The Infernos going down 0-1 with a -7 record. Their opponents will be the Scrambled Eggs, so we'll see whether a away team is a little bit more of a comfortable fit for them, as their home game on Wario City just did not turn out the way they wanted it to. The Monarchs 0-1. Well, we'll see what they can do. They will be a home team versus the Monsters. So if they want to get their defense together and prove it against any team, the Monsters will be the team to prove it against. Otherwise, they'll fall down to an 0-2 scoreline, and if the Monsters do the damage they've done earlier, that -10 run differential will drop like a rock. The Flowers are last team for today. -13 on the day means they currently sit in last place, but it's only Playday number 1. Their opponent next Playday will be, once again, those Revenge. So a good chance for them, even though they're on the away side, as Revenge are not usually considered a slugging team, to lock down the matchup and secure their first win. Thank you all for joining me. I'm not going to wait out today because I'm just going to go to bed. For the coaches who might be listening, office hours for the commissioner are now open. Thank you, everybody, and I will see you next Playday as Grand Slam Galaxy gets deeper into, or really kicks off its regular season. Thank you, and good night. Bye-bye.